a ticket. Welcome into the LIBA Business Hour, sponsored by Nats to Tasseling, highlighting local independent businesses in and around Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, LIBA President and CEO, Bud Seinhorst.
Well, happy Saturday, live from the Guardians of Freedom AirShow out here in at the Lincoln Airport. It's we had quite a morning just getting.
We sure did, bud. hey, this is awesome, man. I mean, you pull up. I was driving on the interstate here, obviously, trying just to get off of 48th Street, and then come towards Air Park, and you saw all the planes lined up, and it was super cool because you know they're getting ready for a really exciting weekend, and frankly. But a really exciting week, a stretch of events in the Lincoln community.
Oh my gosh, the next week in Lincoln is just it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
We're talking a couple 100,000 people out here this weekend for the Guardians of Freedom Air Show, which is great. I mean, it's great for the community, great for economic development, but well, actually, the air show kind of started on Thursday.
It did.
I was downtown having coffee. We were sitting outside Thursday morning, or about noon on Thursday, and all these planes start doing test runs around downtown Lincoln. I was like, holy buck, you could barely hear.
Yeah.
And then coming into this week, Wednesday, we have the volleyball day in Nebraska, and that's going to be a huge thing. 91,000 people. The Huskers had a great win last night against Utah State, a 3-set sweep. So and it's cool that as this volleyball day in Nebraska, they're incorporating the Division II schools. We've got some really prominent Division II schools. Kearney is playing Wayne State at 4:30, and then at 7:00 we've got the Huskers in Omaha.
Yeah.
And then they're going to end the day with a concert from Scotty McCreery.
Nice little Scotty McCreery concert, which, I mean, and then obviously Husker football starting on Thursday.
Then
I mean,
Thursday night.
Obviously not in Lincoln, but the downtown scene is going to feel the buzz. Obviously, it's not going to be nearly as warm as it was this last week, which was just brutal. By the way,
what a morning. Holy smokes, right?
I stepped out of my house and got in the vehicle, and I was like, dang, maybe I don't need my AC fully blasted just on the way here today, and that was somewhat of a relief there. But no, it's going to be a great day. Once again, we're out at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. We're sitting. I suppose they probably wouldn't call this a tarmac, just a normal cement, an area. But we're surrounded by jets and planes, and a lot of great people over here as well. So once again, you guys can chime into the show. We're going to be here until 5 p.m. today, out here at the Lincoln Airport for the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. And when we'll have obviously our normal programming the entire day. Myself, Nick Sainert, obviously Bud will be here for a chunk of the day. Rico is going to come out here. We have the folks from Nebraska Esports that are going to be coming out here as well. There's going to be a lot of 93.7 The Ticket talent on the way today and tomorrow, because we're going to be out here both days all day long. So it's going to be an exciting weekend here, and some of the special content. We're going to have plenty of conversations with people that are involved in the air show, with people that are involved in the Lincoln community the entire day and entire weekend, for that matter, here at the Lincoln Airport. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys can always chime in once again on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951. All of those places are up and rolling, and you'll be able to see a nice little sweet, cool little jet behind us as well here as we get things rolling just after 9 a.m. So, okay, Bud, we're going 2 hours today.
2 hours live, remote.
Yes.
It's
new. This is the first remote probably for you.
This is the first remote for me. This is the first time we're going to go 2 hours. So we tried to put together a show today. First, before I get too far into that, I mean, I'm already off my script. So,
that's okay, though.
You reminded me when you were talking about all the ways to interact with us. We want to thank our show sponsor, Nats Detasseling. They've been great for us. Earn cash, build character, Nats Detasseling. Learn more at notafraidtosweat.com. And then also, I think I hear some airplanes firing up, the wind's firing up out here. We want to give a shout out. Our opening segment's always sponsored by UStop. Earn points, spend like cash with the kickback card. which you can get snacks and even gas available at all the 24 U-Stop locations. So it's going to be kind of a go with the flow. I think
Absolutely.
I said on the fly was kind of our motto today.
It fits really well. I mean, I think we're going to have they're expecting 100,000 people here today.
Yes.
I mean, this is going to be just as big as a Nebraska football game day, because here in Lincoln, that's what we compare everything to. Is what's it like on game day?
I'm looking at the general public gate over here, Nick, and I mean, I got here about 8:30. I think you were here about the same time. And as far as I can see, we've got people lined up to get in. They've got all kinds of food vendors. There's all kinds of different. You can get in and you can see inside of different planes. They've got static just displays where you can check out the planes, get up close and personal. You can actually walk up to the fence over here to our left, and you can get some pretty good shots of the Blue Angels planes. I did that already. But we're going to have different people dropping in. We've got some folks from the military that are coming over. We actually have a couple of folks from the Czech Republic.
Oh, there you go.
These will be our first international guests on the LIBA Business Hour today. But they're here doing a parachuting deal. I saw their plane when I was walking up. Holy smokes, it was huge. So there's all kinds of just different planes and things that you can see if you want to stop by and make fun of us while we're here live on the air. We're in the STEM tent. It's a great big red and white tent. We've got LES, we've got Doan, we've got Kinetic, we've got the sheriff's office. Somebody's sign just went down. We've got the state. So it's kind of a nice area. So come by and find us. Looks like they got some exercise bikes over here for LES, Nick. Maybe we can have a bike race during our break.
Power our own energy over there? No.
Hey, if we run low on electricity,
exactly.
We'll just get Nick over there on the bike. He's a lot younger. He's got stronger legs. He can power up the show for us. So
it's gonna be a great time. There's plenty of vendors out here. I mean, I'm seeing signs for lemonade, nachos, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, brats. There's going to be a lot of people here, and we're excited to be a part of it. We're thankful to be a part of it here at the Ticket, and so shout out to everyone involved, because when we talked to Rachel Barth of the Lincoln Airport,
Rachel's going to come by sometime this morning, but so we're glad.
Just a few weeks, was that 2 weeks ago? 1 week ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, we talked to Rachel Barth of Lincoln Airport, and she mentioned all the planning and all the executing that goes into preparing for and executing an event like this. I mean, this is years in the making of getting all the planes and jets coordinated to be here on time and be here. The Blue Angels, obviously a national commodity that they're here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and then obviously all the vendors and advertisers and all that. Tons of planning went into this one.
Oh my gosh. And and because Rachel is so darn good at her job, they had the Top Gun Maverick a week ago.
That's right.
A week ago last night, they had Top Gun Maverick out here in the hangar. So doing a lot of really cool things out here for the Lincoln Airport and the Lincoln community. Really appreciate Rachel and Dave and all the things that they do. Just helping us out, helping out our community. But yeah, I would say if you want to come out, I would plan ahead.
Yeah.
I did say I think you can bring in like your bag chairs and some of that kind of stuff. We'll talk to Rachel about that when she comes.
You can. I know this for a fact. You can bring in the chair. You shouldn't bring in the bag.
Oh yes, that's right. She told us that 2 weeks ago. She told us you can bring in the chair.
Bring the chair,
but
don't
not
bring
the
bag
that the chair goes into.
Exactly. So once again, I mean, there's just plenty of opportunities and a lot of local flavor here, which we are a huge fan of on the LIBA Business Hour. Once again, shout out to all of our sponsors, Nats Detasseling, and U-Stop, and Integrated Behavioral Health, and Ascend Aesthetics, and all the folks involved with the LIBA Business Hour. But then I would also say, once again, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys the entire day, not just the LIBA show. We're going to be going from 9 to 11 here from the Lincoln Airport and from the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. But once again, we will be available and open to you guys all day long up until 5 p.m. We'll have just kind of a combination of hosts and different personalities. We'll have the similar programming. Nebraska Esports Show will go from 12 to 2 as they do every Saturday right here, once again, from the Lincoln Airport. But then in between there, just mixed in, we'll have myself, we'll have Rico, we'll have a couple of the other guys I think potentially Austin is out here today as well. So we'll have a lot of 93.7 The Ticket personalities out here just kind of breaking down what we're seeing out at the air show. And then, well, obviously, we're 6 days or 5 days now away from Husker football starting
by the way,
volleyball day in Nebraska. I'm sure we're going to talk Husker football. Maybe we have a little bit of a high school recap from myself over the next couple hours from high school football last night. We saw Southwest win 35-0. And so plenty of stuff on deck and on tap later today.
It's just going to be a great day. So, if you come out to the air show, grab your AirPods. You can jump on the 93.7 The Ticket app. You can listen to what's going on. Like I said, we're in the STEM tent. It's kind of right by that public entrance. It's a red and white tent. We've got a great big Nebraska Air Force cargo plane on one side of us, and we've got it says Lucky Devils Air Force. I would call that probably a fighter jet right behind us.
I would say so as well.
Too bad we can't get him to do a live give us a ride, Nick. That would have been pretty cool.
I would be all about that as long as we're not going in circles. I like what the Blue Angels do. I commend and I respect the crap out of it, because there's no way that you would be able to get me up there and say, yeah, let's do tricks in a plane. Like I'm about to go now. Obviously, it's a different type of plane. We're about to fly to Boulder here in 2 weeks, and I swear, if that plane even tilts a little bit, then I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So I commend the Blue Angels. It would be, I was thinking about this earlier in the week, like on the off chance they would have asked us, like, hey, you guys want to do a ride along or something like that? I would have been like, part of me would have said no.
I would have arm wrestled you and told you to throw it so I could go with them. I would have done it.
But part of me would have told myself, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm one of those people that I go, you know what? I'm, as much as I might hate it or I'm nervous, I'm not going to say no to it.
Hey, you only live once, brother. You got to take on those opportunities.
Exactly.
So it's just a great day. Actually, I'm sitting here in the tent and I'm thinking, I never would have imagined after this week.
Yeah,
I might have put a light jacket on or something.
Yeah, I know. Tell
today
me about
just
it.
to come out here. So, be prepared. Come on out. Have a good time. I mean, people are already setting up outside the perimeter on the fence out here. They're setting up out there on their chairs. They're getting the front row seats. But again, if you're coming out to Guardians of Air Show or Guardians of Freedom Air Show, get out here early.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you. Get out here early, have a little fun, but plan, because it's going to take you a little while to get through all of what you need to get through to get out here.
And honestly, understandably so. I mean, all the military and workers out here that are helping out with directing traffic and parking and all that stuff, they're going to be doing their best. I mean, listen, 100,000+ people are probably going to be in attendance for this one. They're expecting over 200,000, obviously, for the next 2 days. I mean, there's going to be a small city here in Nebraska, just kind of centered around this small area of the Lincoln Airport. And so just, we also plead, for patience.
Absolutely.
On your guys' end, because as much as you guys want to get in and see the air show, they're trying to get as many people in as possible, in a timely manner as well. So, expect to maybe have a little bit of a walk from your car if you show up in the later parts of the day. Expect to have maybe a little bit of a longer walk, but also just kind of be patient and kind of plan for that, right? Treat it as a Husker football game day, and even maybe take it up a notch, if you will.
Absolutely, because there's no tailgating going on.
Nope.
So I would tell you.
Well, oddly enough.
And there's no assigned parking either.
Bingo.
So that's the other thing. So be ready to do whatever it is. But take your time. Be out here.
Yep.
Be ready to go. So, Nick, Husker football is starting on Thursday, and it just seems like, man, it seems like it's been an ages and ages since the last football season ended. What have you seen? I mean, you've been kind of going to some of the pressers, following practice really, really cool or really closely. What are some of the things that you're seeing that make you feel good about where we're at today?
I'll tell you this. One thing that Matt Rule said yesterday that stuck out to me, and it made me curious, I should say, because I'm still up in the air of whether or not Nebraska is going to be good and disciplined football team this year. I think they have a lot of good pieces, right? But obviously there's a new era. You're going into year one, like all the little details there. One thing I will say though that kind of piqued my interest yesterday when we were talking to Matt Rule is he said we're going to be a football team that plays a team that plays our best football in the fourth quarter. Now, the reason it piqued my interest, obviously, revisionist history. Nebraska hasn't played their best football, and they've actually played pretty bad football in the fourth quarter in years past. I don't know now if Matt Rule is saying that to get the fans fired up, or if Matt Rule truly believes that this football team here in 2023 is going to be a team that can play their best football in the fourth quarter. If it's the latter option, then Nebraska has a chance to do some things because speaking about the Big Ten specifically, it's a physical conference. It's a pretty balanced conference when you look, especially in the Big Ten West. There's a lot of good teams, not great teams in there. There's no Ohio State. There's no Michigan. There's no Penn State. Basically, in the Big Ten West, there's not a single team being talked about for the college football playoff. But in the Big Ten East, there's 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
So you just want to talk about that. So, if Nebraska is a team that, and I've said it, many times throughout the course of daily shows and things like that, if Nebraska football turns into a team where they can find themselves in games at the fourth quarter, or even if they're able to find themselves to have just put together some competent football next Thursday on game 1 of the year, I think that's something that fans can kind of hold on to, even if it results in a Nebraska loss, as long as they're not out there committing 12 penalties, as long as they're out there not committing stupid bonehead mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Those things that you can clean up. And at the end of the day, even if you lose, you still say, hey, we tip our hat to you because you just were better than us today.
I think
that's okay.
I think the conditioning is something that I've heard Coach Rule talk a lot about. Is just the conditioning that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he had them at 6 a.m. pushing weights across the snowfield field. Yeah. So I think that conditioning piece is, and I think that's why he's talking about the fourth quarter, which I think again will be music to our ears or our eyes as we watch it on television. So I've enjoyed some of the video they've put out.
Yeah.
I think there's some things that you hear that are just a little different.
And I agree with you, wholeheartedly. I think Husker fans are cautiously optimistic, and I don't blame them for being right. I think all of us are somewhat cautiously optimistic. But what I would say, I mean, I think no matter whether Nebraska loses next Thursday's game by 3 points, or even if they win it, I think there's ways that you could talk about finding progress throughout the entire season, right? Progress in the little things. Jay Foreman actually talked about it last night with the high school game that he and I did between Southwest and Lincoln High. Lincoln High was down, pretty big late in the second half. Well, Lincoln High then could find out ways to still find progress and find bright spots in it. In this first couple games, it might be a little bit of growing pains, not only for Matt Rule, who's getting back into the college game, but also the staff, who's, as we know, relatively young. And then also just that there's a lot of new players in a lot of new places. And so,
they play the first 2 games on the road,
and
too, which
is part of it.
That's a little different too. I don't know when
is.
the last time is that happened here at Nebraska. So, I saw something the other day. He was talking about, he's excited for it because it's kind of the us against the world, and we've got to stay together. And I think that's one of the things that I've really heard him preach about and work on and develop with this team is just, hey, let's keep everybody together, and regardless of what happens, we're going to stay together because we've got to be one team.
Well, and that's something that I think Husker fans can take pride in, right? It feels like there's a lot more unity, and this team is a lot more unified than maybe in years past. So, I mean, off the field, here's the thing, bud. I mean, off the field, they're doing everything, correct, if you will. And I put correct in quotations, because what is correct, what is, all that's relative and up to the opinion. But I think, off the field, they're doing a lot of good things. They're saying a lot of great things. And the players and coaches are operating under this assumption that they're going to be, relatively pretty successful this year. But with all that being said, and with all that in mind, things and plans have a way of going awry at times. Football, yes, you can control the things like the line of scrimmage and things like that, but you also can't control how well the other team plays, right? You can't control on how Minnesota is going to come out in formations and things like that, but you can't control how you respond and how you adapt. So I think Nebraska's got, they're going to have some growing pains this year. I think that's why a lot of people are maybe projecting them with the record that they are, whether it's 5-7, whether it's 6-6, whether it's 7-5. But I think we're all hoping that it's over 500, so we can spend the winter and the January months in a bowl game.
I think that would be. I mean, that's one of the things. And I mean, when Nebraska refused the bowl game in the COVID year, to me that was one of the most head scratching decisions as a program, because you get an extra 2, 3, 4 weeks to practice, and I think that would be almost the best thing. For winter conditioning, it takes you into the spring, which takes you into the summer, which it's long term.
Well, it's also there. I mean, there's continuity in that, and so I think one thing you mentioned, about practices, I don't know how much the previous staff and this is not a knock on all the assistant coaches, obviously, because there's a lot of good ones that were on that staff, and that's why a lot of them ended up with jobs, and a lot of them are doing just fine on their own, and there was a lot of good assistant coaches on the previous staff. That handled their business and handled it well. Now, with that being said, I'm not sure how orchestrated or how organized or purposeful practices were. And so you say, obviously Nebraska would have loved to get those 2 or 3 weeks more of practices. But then you sit here and go, all right, well, what was Nebraska's practices doing for them the entire year, right? And maybe it was different under Mickey Joseph, and there's more purposeful practice under Mickey Joseph. But I think, you just look at the last 4.5, 5 years, go, man, where was, if they were practicing with so much purpose and so much, physicality like they were telling us, why did it never show up on the field?
Well, I think here's the one thing, and I'll just say this kind of tongue in cheek that you hear people talking about.
Yeah.
And that is the fact that at least the head coach is on time for practice.
Hey,
I mean, you can't ask for something if you're not willing to do it yourself. And I do see, Jake, the main gates are open and people are now, I'll say, flooding in the gates here at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. So it's time, I guess, right? So we're doing good. People are starting to come in. We're going to have some guests that probably are getting through that line to get over here. And we've got some military folks, so we'll be putting together a fun show this morning.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. Once again, we're at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. Shout out to all of our sponsors for helping us out and being supportive through all of this. I mean, the wind is definitely picking up a little bit. I didn't bring a sweatshirt. Maybe I should have.
You better text somebody that's coming out in a little bit. Say, hey,
I was just telling somebody last night, man, I cannot wait for the hoodie weather.
I love hoodie weather.
After this last week, I wasn't expecting here just one day later, less than 12 hours later after I was talking to them that I'm ready for hoodie weather. I think I need a hoodie right now. But
hey, I bought me a brand new Loper hoodie while I was in Kearney last week. Gotta have plenty of Loper hoodies around my house.
Maybe I can find some Guardians of Freedom Air Show swag.
I tell you what, they got Blue Angels stuff right over here. They've got hoodies. They've got T-shirts. They got zip-up hoodies. I mean, they got it all over there. So.
Well, I would also say that we're also going to have plenty of swag here over the rest of the course of the day and over the course of the weekend. T-shirts, keychains, bottle openers, koozies, all that and more. Plenty of chances to win gift cards as well throughout the course of the weekend. So we're going to be giving away some swag as well. So if you are stopping by the Guardians of Freedom Air Show today or tomorrow, come on over. We're in the STEM tent. There's a sign outside of it, but it's also red and white. Perfect way to kick off the Husker football season, and the ticket colors, red and white and a little bit of black as well. So, but I think it's time for a break. And when we come back, do we have Kendall?
Kendall is trying to get in.
So. Gotcha. There you go.
Kendall Warnock from A1 Automotive is going to come. We're going to hopefully catch him after the break here. The gates are just getting open, so we're going to try to find him, and We will come back after the break here with the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket.
USTOP is a member of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association, promoting local businesses through education, networking, and local government advocacy. This is why USTOP sponsors the LIBA Business Hour on the Ticket 93.7. Every time you fill up at a USTOP on a Tuesday, USTOP donates 2 cents for every gallon sold to local charities in our community. This month, USTOP has partnered with the Boy Scouts of America Cornhusker Council. Stop by USTOP and fill up every Tuesday to help us fuel our community.
Up your kitchen game with Kitchen Tune-Up. With experienced, creative, and dedicated technicians on their team, Jason, Ron, and the team bring your kitchen dreams to life. Say goodbye to outdated spaces and hello to a renewed, personalized kitchen that will make you the envy of your friends, neighbors, and family. Experience quality craftsmanship and exceptional customer service when you choose Kitchen Tune-Up. Visit kitchentuneup.com/Lincoln-NE today or call 402-200-4697 and achieve the kitchen tune-up of your dreams.
Are you searching for a helping hand in life? Look no further. Integrated Behavioral Health Services is your answer. They're your compassionate, trusted partners committed to guiding you from challenges to triumphs. Their licensed professionals offer personalized therapy for individuals, couples, and families. At IBHS, the focus is you. Experience a life-changing transformation in an environment tailored to your unique needs. Visit ibhealthservices.com today and take that first step towards a brighter future. Discover the power of healing with Integrated Behavioral Health Services. You're not alone. Let them walk this journey with you.
At Ascend Aesthetics, they understand that you want results and you want them fast. That's why they've developed the fastest weight loss and body toning programs that are clinically proven to shed extra fat, boost muscle mass, and tighten skin without having to spend hours at the gym. Reveal your leaner physique, ignite your testosterone levels, and boost your energy with personalized plans tailored to your goals. Learn more at slimdowne.com or call 402-480-6680. Ascend Aesthetics, where transformation begins.
There's a buzz in the air at Kansas. Maybe it's the roar of fans here at the track, or the anticipation of the playoffs as drivers fight to move on to the next round and keep their championship hopes alive. Maybe it's the pulse of the heartland, the thrill of speed, or the sounds of grills sizzling in the campgrounds. Whatever it is, it will be one memorable weekend. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Picture a hot summer day, sun blazing in the fields as far as the eye can see. Now imagine you're a teenager making bank, all while enjoying the great outdoors. Welcome to Nats Detatling Inc., where they're not afraid to sweat. This summer, join the Nats team for an unforgettable experience. Forge friendships, learn responsibility, and earn money. Visit notafraidtosweat.com now. Nats Detatling, where hard work meets good times.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is Nebraska's premier NIL company, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by USTOP and Whitehead Oil.
Welcome back to the LIBA Business Hour. We are live. Uh-oh. It says my mic is muted. And Nick is not here. So, well, I'm not going to touch any buttons because that's dangerous, I think.
Welcome. Yeah, so
Bach, is there a way that you can unmute us?
We actually can hear you. You're doing good.
Oh, okay. You can hear us. All
Yep,
right.
yep.
So we're back at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show here out at the airport. The gates are open, and I have got my good friend Matt here. Matt is with the Branched Oak Observatory. Matt, thanks for joining us.
yeah, thank you, bud.
It's good to see you. We have you have a booth out here in the STEM tent, and just tell us a little bit real quick, Matt, about Branched Oak Observatory and what you guys are up to.
You bet. The Branched Oak Observatory is a public sky park. We're located up near Branched Oak Recreation Area, but not in the park itself. We are the public sky park. You can come on out. You can look at the night sky. Come out during the day. You can see the sun safely. We have an amazing array of activities and things that you can enjoy. Anything from solar viewing to holding real meteorites in your hand. We also have our Earth, Moon, Earth, where we can actually send your voice to the surface of the moon and back, which is a new experience at the observatory, including communicating with satellites and the International Space Station, and just a great educational experience for young and old.
That's awesome. So you've really grown this over the last few years. It's really gotten bigger, and you've done a lot. You've invested a lot. Talk about kind of your vision and why you wanted to put this together for us, Matt.
You bet. So we're just finishing up our $500,000 capital campaign. This is a brand new multi-purpose center. It's the Kunkel Family Multi-Purpose Center. 1,800 square feet, brand new classroom. It's an amazing facility. And so 9 years ago, Bud, we were just an overgrown farm field. And today we are the premier Midwest public sky park. And we're not stopping here, but we have plans that will frankly just blow your mind coming up for our phase 2 here. And as we get closer and closer to announcing some of our things in the next phase, I think you'll truly will be amazed. But when you come on out to the observatory, we wanted to, as we say, bring the night sky down to earth. And we want to make it an enjoyable experience and get people to get used to looking up at the sky.
Excellent. Sorry about that. I was multitasking there. I had one of our guests trying to get a hold of them. So, so talk about why you're out here at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show and why you thought it was important to have something out here, other than 100,000 of your closest friends will be out here today.
I know this is just absolutely an incredible opportunity for us, and we certainly want to thank the opportunity to come on out here. Well, first of all, we have a very important event coming up here on the 9th of September, and that is our annual Starbecue, our 9th annual Starbecue, and this is going to be an incredible event. Not only will we be revealing the brand new Kunkel Family Multi-Purpose Center, we have just a bevy of activities. We're going to have the 501st Legion come out. These are the Star Wars guys, and these guys are amazing. We've got Stormtroopers, Darth Vader, really all the bad guys from Star Wars are going to be out here. We're going to have a live band. The Last Minute Band's going to come on out. We have food trucks. We're going to have a Soulful Kachina, Fly Dogs, Kona Ice, and the coffee truck with Kona Ice. So it's going to be a great fun time. And then we have a raffle. So everybody who comes out will get one free raffle ticket, and they'll have an opportunity to win a $1,000 telescope. And so make sure you come out and at least get your free ticket. And then, of course, you have opportunities in which to purchase other tickets. And, gosh, what else can I tell you that we're going to have?
Remind us when that is again.
September 9th.
September 9th. That's a Saturday.
Saturday after the Husker game, after a Husker win.
After we beat,
Colorado.
After we whip Colorado.
That's right.
Will you be serving fresh buffalo burger
Buffalo
that night?
burgers are on the menu. I'll talk to the guys at the barbecue place. I'm sure we can make that happen. And it runs from 5 until 11. So you want to come out earlier. Last year, Bud, we had 1,200 people. And because now here, the great exposure we're getting here on this here, the Freedom, the Air Show, as well as what we're doing with TV and radio, we're expecting 1,500 to 1,700 people to come. So come early, get a good parking spot, and make sure that you you come on and bring your family.
Excellent. Now, Matt, we've talked a lot over the last couple of years about what you're doing out there at the observatory. Talk about like if our listeners have kids, grade schools, maybe even a preschool class, what kind of things can you do for them and kind of get those kids out there? I think the more we can engage these young people with these exciting opportunities, the better. So what can we do if we've got a class that we want to bring out? Or
Well, I'll tell you what, just go to our website, theboo.org, THEBOO.org. We have a contact us tab on there. Just drop us a line, say that you have a class that you'd like to come out, and we'll make all the necessary arrangements. We have some great hands-on STEM activities.
What are some of those? Give us some examples.
Yeah, so what we have here, we've got some STEM kits. First of all, we'll talk about some of the basics of electricity, right? We've got this neat little kit that will show them how to build a circuit, how to build a little flashing LED light. Then we'll show them how fiber optics work. We've got this really cool fiber optic little add-on to the kit. And then we can turn it around and we can add another circuit. And now we have a fan. And then you turn the circuit around again, then you have a little gyrocopter. Here's the fun part about that, Bud. When they come out and they do those little 4 kits like that, those little 4 activities, they get to make those and then take those home absolutely free.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we have a great sponsor here, International Propeller Service. They've co-sponsored with us on this, and it's just a great community partnership.
Excellent. Now, how many kids can you handle in a class? Is it, what's your prime number?
With the new multi-purpose center classroom, we can handle 40 to 60 kids pretty easy.
Okay, up to 60 kids. So that's
60,
great.
Yeah.
And about how long of a time frame would these activities be? What are you thinking? I mean, just generally.
Yeah,
I know we've got a few teachers that listen, so hopefully we can get them interested in coming out.
Depending upon how in depth they want to get, I would at least an hour and a half to 2 hours, one and a half, 2 hours.
Fair.
And if they want to run long, we're very happy to do that. And then most are going to come out during the day. Now, right now, we're not having really great cooperation with the clouds here. But one of the activities that they'll be able to do is actually do some safe solar viewing and be able to look at the sun safely and in ways that they've never probably ever seen it before.
Awesome. So what other kind of things are you doing out at the observatory that might be of interest to our listeners?
Yeah, so I tell you what, the latest edition that we have, and we're really excited about this, is called Earth, Moon, Earth. And this is where you can come out and you can actually become a vocal astronaut. You can go to the surface of the moon, or at least your voice will, via radio waves, go to the surface of the moon, and the moon will actually bounce it back. And then you get to hear your own voice after it's traveled, all that distance and back. And the reason that we do that is we want kids to start thinking, like, how far is the moon away? We've already been talking about that, and we get anywhere from crazy answers from 50 miles to 5 million miles. We tell them, hey, great answer. It says, how would you like to be able to prove that? So we actually have a really great program. The first thing we got to do is we got to figure out our speed of light, right? Because there's going to be a math formula involved. So how do we do that? Well, believe it or not, we use a microwave and a Hershey bar to be able to figure out frequency and the speed of light.
Sounds like you're making s'mores.
Yes, pretty much like that. And then we talk about radio waves. We talk about space and communications. And then we take them and then we put them in front of a radio. Not unsimilar to what we have here. They're going to put on a headset and they're just going to say, hi, moon. And then they're going to hear their voice go out and come back. And we're going to time it using an old-fashioned stopwatch. And as I said earlier, you knew that there was going to be math. So real simple math formula. Speed of light, figured out by the Hershey bar in the microwave, times our new variable, which is the time element, right? So we're going to what we get off the stopwatch. Mm-hmm. And then that will give us the approximate round trip distance between the Earth and the moon. We divide it in 2, and that's the approximate distance. So now we can take that answer, which is fairly accurate, compare it to what they thought it to be, and then we can actually we can go online, we can actually figure out what it is for that particular day. The whole idea is to get kids to think, right? And to know that it's okay to not have the right answer, but we can show them how to do that. But I really, truly think that as we're doing, we're going back to the moon, we're making a big stride to go to Mars. I know that in the next 10 to 20 years, when they're talking to astronauts about how did you get inspired to become an astronaut? And I know that one of them's going to say, I went to this little observatory up by Raymond, Nebraska, and I spoke to the moon, and it talked back to me.
Oh, that's awesome. We are live out here at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. Matt and I are talking about the Branch Oak Observatory. Before we continue our conversation, Matt, I got to make sure I give a shout out to our segment sponsor, Integrated Behavioral Health Services, building a stronger, healthier community through advocacy, inclusion, perseverance, unity, and compassion. Learn more at ibhealthservices.com. So, Matt, talk a little bit now. Kind of give us again the describe the location for us, because you're not like right there at the Branched Oak Marina or anything like that.
That
right?
is correct. Yeah, we share the name Branched Oak, and that's really kind of where the separation happens. We are located 1/2 mile south of the Branched Oak Recreation Area. So when you come up Raymond Road, and you just before you get to that little S curve, there's Northwest 98th, and we got a couple of banners or a couple of signboards up there. We're 1/2 mile south, and we're on the left-hand side of the road. We're actually on private property. My wife and I have a small acreage.
Excellent.
And on the backside of this acreage here, we have leased to the Branched Oak Observatory where we're at right now. So from here in Air Park, we're about a 20-minute drive.
Excellent. Well, we really appreciate it. It's great to have you on, Matt. We are going to take a break here and here at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show just for a couple of minutes. We've got a couple of guests from the Czech Republic who are here to perform for the Air Show. So we're going to kick it back to Bach. You're listening to the LIBA Business Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Up your kitchen game with Kitchen Tune-Up. With experienced, creative, and dedicated technicians on their team, Jason, Ron, and the team bring your kitchen dreams to life. Say goodbye to outdated spaces and hello to a renewed, personalized kitchen that will make you the envy of your friends, neighbors, and family. Experience quality craftsmanship and exceptional customer service when you choose Kitchen Tune-Up. Visit kitchentune-up.com/Lincoln-NE today or call 402-200-4697 and achieve the kitchen tune-up of your dreams.
USTOP is a member of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association, promoting local businesses through education, networking, and local government advocacy. This is why USTOP sponsors the LIBA Business Hour on the Ticket 93.7. Every time you fill up at a USTOP on a Tuesday, USTOP donates 2 cents for every gallon sold to local charities in our community. This month, USTOP has partnered with the Boy Scouts of America Cornhusker Council. Stop by USTOP and fill up every Tuesday to help us fuel our community.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness. And now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is Nebraska's premier NIL company. And with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Are you searching for a helping hand in life? Look no further. Integrated Behavioral Health Services is your answer. They're your compassionate, trusted partners committed to guiding you from challenges to triumphs. Their licensed professionals offer personalized therapy for individuals, couples, and families. At IBHS, the focus is you. Experience a life-changing transformation in an environment tailored to your unique needs. Visit ibhealthservices.com today and take that first step towards a brighter future. Discover the power of healing with Integrated Behavioral Health Services. You're not alone. Let them walk this journey with you.
Picture a hot summer day, sun blazing in the fields as far as the eye can see. Now imagine you're a teenager making bank, all while enjoying the great outdoors. Welcome to Nats Detasseling Inc., where they're not afraid to sweat. This summer, join the Nats team for an unforgettable experience. Forge friendships, learn responsibility, and earn money. Visit notafraidtosweat.com now. Nats Detasseling, where hard work meets good times. At Ascend Aesthetics, they understand that you want results and you want them fast. That's why they've developed the fastest weight loss and body toning programs that are clinically proven to shed extra fat, boost muscle mass, and tighten skin without having to spend hours at the gym. Reveal your leaner physique, ignite your testosterone levels, and boost your energy with personalized plans tailored to your goals. Learn more at slimdowne.com or call 402-480-6680. Ascend Aesthetics, where transformation begins.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
Donnie Nelson kind of was doing a little, backyard boogieing with
Business on the side.
with Mark Cuban in the back rooms. Moves are being done and things are happening to which you don't really know about. That seems to me what happened in this situation. Things were going on, conversations was being had at the highest levels, and you're not in on the party.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs, or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month. It's glow time. See Club for details.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for fireworks Fridays, souvenir Saturdays, Sunday family fun days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness. And now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is Nebraska's premier NIL company. And with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Are you searching for a helping hand in life? Look no further. Integrated Behavioral Health Services is your answer. They're your compassionate, trusted partners committed to guiding you from challenges to triumphs. Their licensed professionals offer personalized therapy for individuals, couples, and families. At IBHS, the focus is you. Experience a life-changing transformation in an environment tailored to your unique needs. Visit ibhealthservices.com today and take that first step towards a brighter future. Discover the power of healing with Integrated Behavioral Health Services. You're not alone. Let them walk this journey with you.
USTOP is a member of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association, promoting local businesses through education, networking, and local government advocacy. This is why USTOP sponsors the LIBA Business Hour on the Ticket 93.7. Every time you fill up at a USTOP on a Tuesday, USTOP donates 2 cents for every gallon sold to local charities in our community. This month, USTOP has partnered with the Boy Scouts of America Cornhusker Council. Stop by USTOP and fill up every Tuesday to help us fuel our community.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services.
All right. I think we are back here. Are we back, Bach? Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, you're back. You're back. Can you hear us?
All right. I'm going to go ahead. We're back here at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show, and I have got a very special guest. We have the ambassador to the United States from the Czech Republic. Welcome to our show. Thank you for being here with us today.
No, thank you for inviting me. It's my great pleasure to be part of your program.
Thank you very much. So, Nebraska has a very unique relationship with the Czech Republic. Talk a little bit. I mean, some of us, several of our listeners have probably been to Wilbur, Nebraska for the big Czech festival and all of those things. So just talk about kind of that connection between Nebraska and the Czech Republic.
No, thank you very much, because we are having a long-standing relationship with Nebraska, because first of all, we are having almost 80,000 people who are having the roots in the former Czech Republic, and they are still keeping and protecting their traditions. And of course, the small cities like Wilbur, which is called also the Czech capital in the United States, they are running so many festivals. It means on the culture, on the relations, with the connectivity with our community, this is very important. And Nebraska is number 5th state in the United States with the highest population of the Czechs, who basically came from the Czechoslovakia at that time in the different period of time. But the most important thing why we are here today, and I brought with me a huge delegation, which is headed by the First Deputy Minister of Defense of the Czech Republic and the Chief of Staff of the Army of the Czech Republic, is to commemorate 30 years of collaboration between the Army of the Czech Republic and Nebraska National Guards. Basically, this collaboration started immediately after the Velvet Revolution in Czech Republic, after all economical, political changes which happened in the Central Europe. In 1993, when we separated with Slovakia, it means we established this partnership with Nebraska. The Czech Republic has the unique position because we are the only state in Europe which has a partnership with 2 states, which is the Nebraska and Texas. And we are also having today the guests from the Texas, and to celebrate this very important friendship and partnership. And at the beginning, the collaboration was focused mainly on support from the United States to newly born democracy in the Central Europe, to assist basically to prepare Czech Republic for their future membership of EU and NATO as well. But in the meantime, the partnership become more balanced, and now even we are trying to develop some relationship with another countries like Nebraska, Czech Republic, for instance, Rwanda in Africa, to assist them with training of the military personnel and staffs, and to enhance their capabilities as well. It means this is something where we are focusing at the moment, but we also taking this anniversary as a new opportunity, basically to elevate the partnership between Army of the Czech Republic and Nebraska National Guard to the state level. It means to the collaboration between Nebraska State and the Czech Republic State. And this is something what I discussed it yesterday when we met the State Secretary and Mr. Governor as well, because we brought a couple of new initiatives which are focused mainly on investment, on economical collaboration, which we would like to develop it in the future, specifically in the agriculture field, in the renewable sources of energy. Also, you are having an excellent university in a Nebraska University, which has headquarters in Lincoln. It means we are already having one teacher, some Czech students already studying there, and we are focusing also on the agriculture studies and medicine, for instance. I mean, this is the main aim what we are doing at the moment, and we would like to by this event to open some new chapter of the collaboration between Czech Republic and Nebraska.
That's outstanding. So how long have you been the ambassador to the United States?
Well, I arrived last year on the 1st of September. It was a very hectic time for me because on one side, we were in the middle of the presidency of European Council with war in Ukraine, with the energy crisis in Europe, with economic recession, which we were approaching at that time. It was really, really tough time for all of us, but we managed. And I must say that it also elevated the relation between the United States and Czech Republic generally, that the relations are at the moment on such a level that never been in the history of the both states.
That's outstanding. And that's a great partnership. And it's great, I think, for our listeners to understand you have such a great relationship with our National Guard, and you're working with our Secretary of State and our governor on ways that we can continue to enhance those relationships and grow those relationships between the Czech Republic and Nebraska. So talk about getting involved with the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. I saw your huge plane. Yeah. I saw the Czech plane when I came in. I had to stop and take a picture this morning. So talk about the importance of showcasing. I think there's actually a parachute jumper from the Czech Republic that's going to be participating in the show today. So talk about kind of like that's a unique relationship, I would think.
It is, and we started day before yesterday because there was a big show which we organized for our community here in Wilbur. We have the army band, which is famous in Czech Republic, and they really love it, the performance. I did some presentation about the Czech Republic, and it was very nice show. And today, of course, also the band will be performing. As you mentioned, we are having the special forces, which will have they will jump out of the plane to show some parachute show, but also we brought one of our government aircraft, Airbus 319, which will be already showed already here as the part of the show.
Yeah. And you guys are going to be part of the opening ceremony too? You have a special ceremony?
Yeah, we will be having the speeches, but also there will be also a very important momentum that we would like to decorate the members of the families of the 3 soldiers. Out of them, 2 they put their life at the end of the Second World War. They liberated the west part of the Czech Republic. It is the place when I was born. My parents are still living there, and my grandparents and my parents still commemorate when your soldiers came in April 1945 to liberate us from the Nazis there, and 2 from those 3 will be decorated today by the special medal of the Minister of Defense of the Czech Republic. They basically were 2 last American soldiers who lost their life in Europe during the Second World War.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
wow.
And for me specifically, it is a very emotion moment because they liberate my city. My ancestors as well who live there. It means since that in the Plzeň we are having the main celebrations every year where the delegations from the United States is coming. We are still preserving the tanks, jeeps, which your army came. It means this huge parade on the 7th of May every year. Our Minister of Defense also attend this show, and this is really one of the biggest events of the city as well.
Outstanding. So, have they treated you to some good meals while you've been in Nebraska?
Well, of course, I heard you have the best steak in the United States. You a little bit compete with the Texas.
I'm a little bit biased, sir.
Okay.
I think we have the best ones in the world. Did you get a good steak while you were
Yeah,
here?
I got it. I was invited for that. We had the official dinner the first day we came, and I must confirm that really your steaks is brilliant.
Very good. I'm glad to hear it. So, again, we've got Ambassador, is it Stasik? Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
From the Czech Republic. He's here as part of the partnership between the Czech Republic, Nebraska National Guard, to be part of the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. And they've got a big ceremony going, so I know I got to let you go. But again, thank you very much for coming. And we look forward to continuing to grow the relationship between specifically Nebraska and the Czech Republic, and we thank you for being here.
No, thank you very much for inviting me. And I would like to basically use this opportunity to everybody who is listening to us to invite to join us today, because it will be a great show. I promise that.
It is going to be a great show. Thank you again, Ambassador Stasek, the ambassador to the United States from the Czech Republic. We're going to take a break, and we will be back here in just a few minutes on 93.7 The Ticket. Thank you very much.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs, or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month. It's glow time. See Club for details.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM First, 93.7 The Ticket.
First, I was really nervous and intimidated by a
You're talking. Sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back. Sure.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
At Ascend Aesthetics, they understand that you want results and you want them fast. That's why they've developed the fastest weight loss and body toning programs that are clinically proven to shed extra fat, boost muscle mass, and tighten skin without having to spend hours at the gym. Reveal your leaner physique, ignite your testosterone levels, and boost your energy with personalized plans tailored to your goals. Learn more at slimdowne.com or call 402-480-6680. Ascend Aesthetics, where transformation begins. Picture a hot summer day, sun blazing in the fields as far as the eye can see. Now imagine you're a teenager making bank, all while enjoying the great outdoors. Welcome to Nats Detasseling Inc., where they're not afraid to sweat. This summer, join the Nats team for an unforgettable experience. Forge friendships, learn responsibility, and earn money. Visit notafraidtosweat.com now. Nats Detasseling, where hard work meets good times.
Hey, moms and dads, bring the whole crew to a Salt Dogs baseball game and unleash the fun. Visit Haymarket Park all summer for Fireworks Fridays, Souvenir Saturdays, Sunday Family Fun Days, and more. With 50 home games, even weekdays can be unforgettable. Planning an event? Make it a home run with group discounts. When you need an outing the whole family will enjoy, unleash the fun with the Salt Dogs. Call 402-474-2255 or visit saltdogs.com for tickets.
Old School with DP&J.
They have the run and gun offense coming in. A new head coach that's been given the longest runway of any coach in Wisconsin, new coach in Wisconsin history, to change the program to Cincinnati way, and a new defensive philosophy. They're ripe for the picking.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Jay Foreman here. Join us on Thursday, August 31st for our pregame show for Nebraska against Minnesota at the Warhorse Casino in Southwest Lincoln. We'll go from 4 p.m. to kickoff at 7 p.m. with the whole ticket crew. Make sure to drop by and see us at the Warhorse Casino.
Welcome into the LIBA Business Hour, sponsored by Nats to Tassilly, highlighting local independent businesses in and around Lincoln on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, LIBA President and CEO, Bud Seinhorst.
Well, here we are. Welcome back to the LIBA's Hour. What a good segment we just had. I'm still learning
Life, discipline, Lincoln,
all of my
business
controls and
growth,
what have you. So
everything.
I'm getting a lot of feedback in my microphone. So can you guys hear me okay?
It's echoey.
It's really echoey.
Really
It's
echoey.
really echoey. Okay.
All right, so adjustments on the fly. Hey, Buck, the ACC needs to be turned off on the, the Adobe on the ACC. There we go. Thank you.
Great job, Bach.
Here we go. Good job, Bach. We appreciate you back there at the control room taking care of us. So, here we go. We got to do a selfie. Rachel, you got to get in the picture, sister.
Well, Nick's going to get plenty of pictures.
Get some pictures for us.
And I'll send them to all of us.
So we got a fun segment coming up here. We had a great segment with Ambassador Stasek from the Czech Republic. That's officially my first interview with an ambassador to the United States.
How are we going to follow that up?
Well, we're going to follow it up
How
with
we
two
gonna follow
good
that up?
local Lincolnites that are good friends of ours at LIBA. We got Kendall Warnock from A1 Auto is with us, and also Rachel Barth making you are our first guest to appear twice on the LIBA Business Hour.
Back-to-back guest.
We had to have you back. So first of all, Rachel, I'm going to start with you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What a day we have going on here.
Fantastic.
We were here early this morning kind of getting set up and everything, and just the people lining up and all of that. So this is like game day for you.
This is game day. This is like the ultimate game day.
Absolutely.
Take all the football games and wrap it into a weekend, and that's kind of what it takes to put on an air show.
Awesome. So, Rachel, just tell us about what people can expect, because we want to get people out here today.
So one, we had a little talk with the aviation gods, and they decided to help us out with the weather this weekend. So I think first off, this is the first beautiful day. I mean, we've seen in a week.
Yeah.
So finally broke out of the hundreds. This week was not fun setting up. I can tell you. Props to every person that worked and volunteered out here setting up this week, because it was horrible. But we got 80s today. A little rain
And
last
some
night
wind.
and some wind. It is gorgeous out here. So couple things. You can definitely bring a chair out here. Don't bring it in a bag. Clear bag policy. You can bring an empty water bottle. We got water set up. And there is, God, what isn't there to see? We have static displays, food trucks. Obviously, we'll have the Blue Angels later this afternoon. They got parachute jumpers. We got the Czech Republic group here. We got a band. I think I saw the governor here earlier. You got every sort of military group here. There's a STEM tent. There's giveaways. There's a kid zone area. You name it. I think this is one of those events that doesn't matter what your age is, you can head out.
This is a good time. So Kendall was supposed to be on at 9 o'clock this morning.
Yeah. The key word there is supposed to be, because
But you
the
know what?
traffic was insane because everybody's trying to get out here.
Oh man,
That's
awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah. And that's where that game day comes in. Is the traffic is a little insane.
I
There's
mean-
really only one way in and one way out. So just please be patient with the parking, because that is going to be the thing today.
And the energy, just getting into the gates, you could feel the energy out here today. So fantastic job. It's going to be a great day for Lincoln here today.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. So, so we are in the STEM tent. So if you come out here, come into the STEM tent. I think we're the only people with a big speaker. We're right in the middle. But we've got the Branch Oak Observatory. We've got Nebraska Tourism, University of Nebraska, Southeast Community College, Assurity,
movie star today?
LES, Doane College. I'm looking for the A1 Auto booth. But
hey, listen now.
We could have been
Listen,
like, we could have had people like learning how to change a
I'm not
carburetor.
quite sure if that would have went over well today. I think there's a lot more to look at and a lot more to do and a lot more to see and a lot more people to talk to other than an automotive technician. But that being said, I appreciate the plug.
Yeah.
We do have a Lincoln Airport booth. I'll plug them. We're giving some sweet swag away, our luggage tags. We're right next to Women in Aviation, which is a new group trying to get started here in Nebraska. So young girls who are interested in getting active in aviation, that's kind of our goal. And so we have a group out here getting people signed up for Women in Aviation. So a lot of really cool opportunities to get people excited about aviation in our community today. And I want to give a shout out to some of the people that put this on. The Guard obviously put a ton of work into this. The 155th Offutt Air Force Base.
The Guard has been awesome for. I mean, you've been on
awesome.
some of the emails that I've had to work with them this week, just to talk about potentially lining up guests and stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's been awesome.
And I've seen all the posts from the ticket in terms of the interaction they've had with the Guard this week.
Yeah.
And the rides that they've had and everything. So fantastic. Just a great weekend for Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, Colonel Williams is absolutely amazing. I was at an event last night where he was kind of thanking everybody, and he had the Czech Republic group out there, but he gave a great shout out to Offutt Air Force Base. They came down. They got tons of people here, kind of basically helping us co-host this thing because it takes a lot of work. And then the Lincoln Chamber has been absolutely amazing with their marketing and pushing this out. And then, of course, I have to give my own team a shout out, the Lincoln Airport. We have every single employee here busting their butt all weekend to set this up behind the scenes. The Lancaster County, NEMA, we got Red Cross, State Patrol, LFR, LPD, our own police officers, you name it. Every emergency personnel
all
that you can imagine
all
is here. It is all hands on deck.
This is the epitome of all hands on deck. And because Rachel is a very humble woman, I want to give you a shout out because you're not ever one to take the credit, but we appreciate what you're doing because you are promoting our city.
Yep.
You're promoting our airport. You're driving people here. And I am very proud of you, Rachel, for all of your hard work. Thank you for what you do because, I mean, we talked about this 2 weeks ago when you were on the show. Just because you didn't have much going on this summer, you decided to do Top Gun Maverick 8 days before the air show.
Why not?
Why did I do that?
Why not?
Rachel is a go big or go home woman, and I'm very proud of you. How did the Top Gun show go?
Oh my gosh.
I bet it was great.
We had over 1,800 people. It was amazing. Commute Air opened up their hangar. We had kids lined up to go on an aircraft. A couple of our GA pilots brought over their aircraft. We had a car show. We did a paper airplane contest, local food trucks. We had Fly Like Kai here with Malachi Coleman. I mean, you name it, it was here. And I know Kendall did a movie earlier this summer as well that was super successful. Did the movie Cars with 1,500 people. So they've really just blown up, and I'm excited for our outdoor movies.
And that's in terms of the outdoor movies, that's great engagement and community engagement, and it gives opportunities to businesses to engage at that level. And it's just great. You've been a great ambassador.
Thank you.
For the city. And more importantly for the airport.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't have a thriving community without a thriving airport. And even if people aren't coming out to fly, this is their opportunity to come out and still enjoy the airport in a free way. And I love that. The movies are free.
Yeah.
This event today is free parking, free to get in. And so really, I think that's the best part of these kind of events. It doesn't matter where you live or you're just coming by yourself or you're bringing your whole family. It's affordable because you don't have to pay to get in.
Yep.
It's just investment of time.
Point.
But again, thank you, Rachel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for what you're doing for this. I know you've got a lot of stuff that you need to get going. So
I do.
I know we've got some
She's not busy.
opening ceremonies. There's at 10:30, right?
Yep.
And our friend from the Czech Republic said that they're going to be doing some recognition up there.
Awesome.
They're going to be awarding some medals. The 30th anniversary of the state partnership program relationship between the Czech Republic Armed Forces and Nebraska and Texas National Guards, and then a couple of presentation of medals. So I know you need to get going. I appreciate you taking a minute
No problem.
to be with us. And again, thank you, Rachel, for all you do for our community and for our airport. There's not any ambassador that I love talking to about the city of Lincoln and the airport more than you.
That's
you
a
do
great
great
plug.
job.
That's
Thank
a great
you.
plug.
Thank you. You guys
Nice
are
job,
awesome.
Rachel.
Thanks for being here today. Enjoy. I see a couple parachute people right now. So it's
On
about
cue.
to get started.
On
Game
cue.
on, right?
Game on. Let's go.
Have a great day, Rachel.
You
We
guys
appreciate it.
too.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
We'll talk to you soon. Kendall,
It's good to see you, brother.
it's good to see you. I'm
to
glad
see
you
you,
made
man.
it in, man. I'm
Good to
sorry
see
it
you.
was such a
Well,
but
it was,
again, it's that epitome of what Rachel was talking
Yeah,
about. We
it's
just
just-
got to have a little patience. And
but it's electric
through it.
out here. It's electric. It
unbelievable.
really is electric, and you could feel it when I was coming down into the air park out here, the crowd, the traffic. But once you get to the gates, you could feel the energy here at the AirShow, and there's just and look at the kids. They're so excited
I love
to be
seeing
here.
all these
They're
kids
so
here.
excited.
They're getting stuff.
That is
they're,
so great.
They're checking things
Yeah.
out. So my hope is that on I think it's September 16th, our home opener, which is
Yeah.
unbelievable that
Crazy.
the home opener is not until September 16th.
I know.
My hope is that we have this kind of energy at Memorial Stadium because
Mhm.
I mean this is just a great way to get going,
Yeah.
and it is a very electric atmosphere. And
Sure
and
is.
again, Rachel, I'm so proud of her.
She's great.
And she
She's
is
just
awesome
great.
for our airport.
Yep.
So now let's
Yeah.
shift gears here.
Yeah. Nice plug.
Little
I like
pun
that.
right
I do
there.
Like
You
it.
see that?
I like it.
Every
I like
once in
it.
a while, I say something that makes sense.
Bud is a genius. Don't let him fool anybody that's listening. He's a
but-
great human being, smart guy.
So let's talk a little bit about A1 Auto.
Sure. Yeah.
You have owned A1 Auto now for
Well, we started in 08, which was just a fantastic year to start a business. It was an absolute
slight
mess.
economic decline.
It was the mess. It was
right?
the mess. It was a challenge. 08, 09 was I look back at the numbers in 08, 09, I think it made about $17,000 total in those 2 years.
Wow.
But again, the business and the mentality and the never give up attitude, and a lot of the community of Lincoln has that attitude, and just doing whatever it takes to get the job done, whatever that means in different spaces. But that was the journey for me. But again, I grew up in a village of 90 people on the Omaha Indian Reservation, northeast Nebraska, and I grew up on a dirt floor shop with my father. I tried to shake it.
Couldn't get away from the
I could
family
not do it.
business.
I just couldn't do it. I was pumping gas with him for a number of years on Highway 77 up there. And then it just transformed to a lot of trial and error and a lot of failure just with small businesses. As you know, you support small businesses better than anybody in this community. And then you finally get some traction.
Yep.
And you finally make a couple of good decisions, and then you stack some wins. You stack a couple of weeks of wins. And then you find and you chase down the knowledge that you need, wherever that is. If your passion is, and we're talking automotive space, but we're talking about whether it's European, if it's Porsche, if it's Audi, if it's Volkswagen, if it's Dodge, Chevy, Chrysler, anything that we could chase down in terms of training. I got to the point where I was able to accomplish that. And I got the texts that are just super, super great. And I say that with a ton of humility because it's been a long journey. And we're here now, right? And we're
You've weathered
established.
some pretty big things too. I mean,
Incredible.
You said you talked here just a minute ago. You started your business in 08.
Yeah.
And you went through that economic just crunch.
Yeah.
In 08, 09. And then fast forward 2020.
Sure.
You and I talked a lot during
Yeah.
2020 because
COVID,
I mean,
yeah.
when COVID hit, we were talking. And I remember. I'm gonna maybe get the numbers off, but you were like, "We're doing 25 to 30 cars a week going into COVID."
Yeah.
And during COVID, you were lucky to do 2 cars a week.
Yeah, it was.
And
it
that was I
pulling.
know that was
Personally.
difficult for you, and but you stood through the storm.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
stood strong
Yeah.
through the storm, and
Yeah.
you took care of your people
First and
and
foremost.
now I think you're coming through that again,
Yeah.
and you're back to what I would say was normal before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And talk about kind of just that journey of those families, because I know you as a business owner, like your families are your family. That's how you take care of your people, and just talk about why that during that pandemic.
Well, first of all, if we don't take care of our employees like family, and not even call them employees, you call them family. If you don't do that, in my opinion, now I'm a small business, I get it, but that's how we've been able to weather a lot of storms. Is how you care for people. How do you treat them? when everything is going well, it's easy to treat people well.
Yeah.
But when things are getting a little bit sideways and get to the point where this is not good, then the servant leadership comes out, and how do you treat people and how do you act towards them, and so we had to pivot a lot, and we were throwing out, I was throwing the kitchen sink at everything, trying to understand how we could survive through those 18 to 22 months.
Yeah.
And it was all about I revert back to how you care for others. It was, hey, I'm going to take care of you first and foremost. And I did with everybody. I'm proud to say now we have 7. I have 7 employees, but I've added 2, but the 5 that were there pre-COVID were there post-COVID, and it was very, 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 very difficult to navigate. But yeah, I'm a faith-based guy, and I kept my faith, and we were able to. Again, we went from 25 cars a week to around 3, maybe 5, because people were absolutely terrified about what was going on and how they were going to survive and what the world was going to look
and
like.
they weren't driving their cars as much, right? I mean, remote work, it was like, well, I don't need to drive downtown every day, or I don't need to drive across town, or what have you.
Yeah.
And I want to touch on something interesting you just said, because I had this conversation. A good friend of mine's been going through some really tough stuff at work.
Okay.
And we were texting the other night, and it was a hell of a tough week for him. And I said, you know what? You're going to find out who your real friends are when the chips are down, because you touched on this. Hey, when things are going easy, it's easy to be slapping and high fiving and
fist pumping
and all
everything.
of that.
Yep.
But when it hits the fan, you find out who the people are that are there for you, and you find out and that's, I think that's a part of your leadership that I admire, because during COVID, it would have been easy to say, guys, I know there's only 5 of you, but we're just not doing. We're going to have to. Everybody's going to have to work half time, and you're going to half pay or whatever. But you took care of that thing, and I think that's an important thing to talk about.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, again, you go back to the servant leadership piece of the equation, and like we both just spoke about, it's super easy to feel good about everything when everything is going well. But when your back's up against the wall, whether it's life or business, sports, anything, you figure out who's in your corner, who's truly in your corner. Not, hey, you know what? I think Bud's a good dude, Kendall's a good dude, but when they're not doing well, I don't know how good a dude he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was difficult, but then you see, and you think you've got 300 people that when things are great, they're great with you, but when things are sideways, you get a little bit slippery. Then you got about, truly, honestly, you got about 4 or 6 people that you can get to and say, hey, I am struggling.
Yeah.
I need some support, whether it's mental support, maybe some financial support, or just listening to someone that needs some help. And that's where you see the true people and the true colors and the true friendships come out there.
Absolutely. So now let's make sure everybody knows where you guys are at.
Sure.
I think you're every third ad on 93.7 The Ticket when I'm listening.
Well, listen. I did, and DP, don't be raising my race for this, okay? So don't be raising.
We're giving you a plug, DP. I know you're out there listening,
I'm giving you a plug, man. And Mark's standing here with us too, but just great human beings. The Ticket, they're just exceptional. 1117 L Street in downtown Lincoln. We've been down there since 2015. It's been 8 years. So we're right across the street from the Cornhusker Hotel, but the Ticket has been fantastic. It's like a family. It's like a second family to me. LIBA's been great to me. The community and just a lot to be thankful for, and just a ton of humility when I say that, because there's just so much for all of us to be thankful for.
Yeah, this has been great. I tell you what, I always say on my 2023 bingo card, I did not have radio show host.
You're great at it, bud. You're great.
I'm having fun.
You're really great at it.
Thank you, Kendall. That's very kind. But for me to be able to talk to our business people and people like Rachel in our community that make our community grow, this is why I love what I do every day at LIBA. And it's a great opportunity. It's a lot of fun. Nick's put up with a lot of my crap this summer. he's had to take a few vacations from me, but that's okay. But it's been really good. So again, 1117 L Street, right down there by the Cornhusker Hotel. Check these guys out. No matter what kind of car you've got, A1 Auto can take care of it. They've taken care of my kids' cars. I don't know how many times.
Appreciate that.
We've been down there.
Haven't seen you for a while, bud.
Yeah,
But, and that's
they got
a good
new
thing.
cars.
That's a good thing.
They got new
That's a good
cars.
thing.
We had to upgrade.
That's a
that
good
one
thing.
car you guys worked on like 10 times.
Oh,
We
that's
finally
great.
had to get rid of it last year. But they do a great job. They great service. Check them out. A1 Auto, 1117 L Street. Kendall, thanks for stopping by, and also thanks for all you do in our community.
You bet, brother.
Everywhere we turn, we see A1 Auto, and Kevin is around. We're with Kevin Warnock. We're out here at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. This place is buzzing. Get out here, check it out. Plan on taking a while to get here, but all the fun's going to start here pretty soon. The opening ceremonies are coming up. We're going to kick it back to Bach at the studio. We're going to take a break, and we will be back here in a few minutes on 93.7 The Ticket.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
There's a buzz in the air at Kansas. Maybe it's the roar of fans here at the track, or the anticipation of the playoffs as drivers fight to move on to the next round and keep their championship hopes alive. Maybe it's the pulse of the heartland, the thrill of speed, or the sounds of grills sizzling in the campgrounds. Whatever it is, it will be one memorable weekend. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
USTOP is a member of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association, promoting local businesses through education, networking, and local government advocacy. This is why USTOP sponsors the LIBA Business Hour on the Ticket 93.7. Every time you fill up at a USTOP on a Tuesday, USTOP donates 2 cents for every gallon sold to local charities in our community. This month, USTOP has partnered with the Boy Scouts of America Cornhusker Council. Stop by USTOP and fill up every Tuesday to help us fuel our community.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
It's less than 1 month until the Guardians of Freedom Air Show comes to Lincoln's Air Park on August 26th and 27th. The show can't happen without the efforts of volunteers, and they need your help. This is a great opportunity to raise money for civic clubs, student organizations, club sports, and others who want to be close to the high-flying action. For more details on how to volunteer at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show, visit LincolnAirShow.com.
You've worked hard all year, sweating, building, providing. Labor Day is your day. Schaefer celebrates you this Labor Day. Take this opportunity to save on LG appliances for your home. Your hard work should be rewarded. Schaefer's has up to $500 in cashback rebates and interest-free financing on the new LG appliances you deserve. Schaefer's, local and family owned since 1946.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, enjoy 8-ounce USDA Choice Boneless New York Strip for just $6.99 each. All natural thick cut Iowa pork chops for $1.99 per pound, and fresh, never frozen Atlantic salmon fillets for just $9.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Integrated Behavioral Health Services.
Nick Stainer and Bud Steinhorst, LIBA president, here with us.
Sorry,
That's right.
trying to catch up on the phone, but this is just unbelievable. So we've been stuck here in the tent, so to speak,
Yeah.
Nick, for almost 2 hours now. And I just during that break, I stepped out of the tent and I was like, "Oh my god,
It's a little chilly."
But there's people everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, as Kendall said in that last segment, look at all these kids. We got all these young people around. This STEM tent has some really cool things.
Yep.
And there's vendors everywhere. You can get gear.
There's a
You
sweet
can,
snow cone.
the snow cone people are apparently here.
Yeah, snow cone.
But they've got brats, they've got nachos, they've got all kinds of things. You can go into some airplanes. You can check out all these different kind of aircraft. We got all kinds of military personnel out here helping out. No offense to any branch of the service, but it really takes an Army and a Navy and an Air Force and the Marines. I guess I'll throw them all in there to put on this air show. But we've got our military folks out here. We've got Lincoln Fire and Rescue. We got Lincoln Police, Lincoln Sheriff's Department. Everybody's out here just having a great time. Just a couple reminders again for our friends from Rachel from the Lincoln Airport. Rachel said you can bring your chairs, just you can't carry the bag in.
Exactly.
And you can bring an empty water bottle, and they have water around that you can get water. So those are kind of the two things. It's free parking. Who says that you can't get some things for free around here? But
tell me about it.
But really great for just our community. What a day for our community, and be able to come out here, check these things out. The opening ceremonies are probably getting going right now. You know, the ambassador from the Czech Republic talked about
that's wild.
They have a band. I guess I know DP's probably listening. So, DP, here's the deal. You said I started with a Hall of Famer, and today I brought in an ambassador. So, you never know what you're going to get with me. So, it looks like we got another guest stepping up here. We've got Doug Roth here. So, we're going to let Doug come on in. He's going to slide in while he's coming back, and we'll get him all set up. Doug, this is your headset.
Right there, sir.
Hopefully you're able to hear us. We're able to hear you. And we're going to just talk a little Guardians of Freedom Air Show. So what a day.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Oh, my gosh. On our last segment, Kendall Warnock was with us, and Kendall's like, it's just electric out here today. And this is awesome. So talk about your role in the whole putting together the Guardians of Freedom Air Show.
Well, yes. Well, thanks for the chance to speak and come here today. It's an honor to be here to fly for the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. It's always a lot of fun. I've done this air show since in the late 90s, I think was the first time that I did an air show here.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm a civilian act and a local aerobatic pilot, and I fly contest aerobatics, and then I also fly the regional air shows whenever an airport would like to do air shows. Why I'll come out and give them an air show. So they asked me if I would do this one, and as I said, it's a great honor. And so glad to be here.
Very good. So where are you based, Doug?
I'm based here in Lincoln.
Here in Lincoln. Okay. So tell me about this aerobatic show that you do. What can our people expect when you're out there?
Yeah, great question. Well, the airplane I fly, it is an unlimited aerobatic airplane, and so the things that you'll see a lot of smoke, and you'll see a lot of straight lines up, a lot of rolling, some tumbling. There will be a tail slide.
Do you have a second seat in your plane? Do you ever take people on these on just not during the show, but like if I wanted to buy my wife a birthday gift, and Nikki's going to probably punch me in the nose when I get home. But if I wanted to buy Nikki a birthday gift, do you have something in your plane you can do that?
Well, not with this airplane. And actually, the kind of show that I do in this airplane would be totally uncomfortable for somebody that's not used to it. But I do have another airplane that is more suited for that. And I love giving rides. So, yeah,
Well, we were talking
We
earlier.
need to have a LIBA business hour in the sky.
There you go.
Oh,
that'd be
brother.
pretty awesome.
Like, I would love it. Nick was saying, I don't know if I get. We were talking earlier on the show, and Nick was like, I don't know when these planes like do these different things and all this, and I've ridden in a lot of different planes in my life, and I've done some of the little things like that. So just kind of, so you're going to go straight up. You're going to be a lot of smoke. You're going to do some
tumbling.
What do we call them?
Yeah, tumbling. One of the things that I'll do is I'll do a torque roll, and I'll go straight up, and then I'll let the airplane stop, come to a total stop, and I'll hang it on the prop, and then I'll just let the torque of the engine start to roll the airplane, and I'll start to fall backwards through the smoke.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's a lot of fun. And
how bad is it that the 50-year-old wants to go do this with you, and the 20-something,
the
22-year-old is like running away?
No
now,
way.
that's pretty funny.
Well, I'd admit it's not for everybody, but for those that it's for, it's awesome. It's an awesome experience.
Okay, I think there should be a combination 93.7 The Ticket and LIBA like bonding opportunity where we all go and get to go do some tumbling with Doug.
Yeah,
Doug, I gotta ask. I mean, how in the world do you get into this? How did you find yourself sitting up there and going, you know what? Yeah, let's just. I want to do some rolls. I want to do some whatever you want to call them, the acrobatic side of it. How in the world did you get into this?
Well, when I first learned to fly, right after I got my pilot's license, I was getting checked out in what is called a Aeronica Champ, and that flight instructor did a loop and a spin for me, and right then, as soon as I experienced that, I was hooked.
Adrenaline rush every time.
Yeah, it's just a real sense of freedom, and just to see the world upside down. It's I just love it. And as far as a ride goes, there's a way that I can roll the airplane. It's called a barrel roll, where if you had your eyes closed, you would never know you went upside down.
Wow.
And in fact, on some of the demo flights that I do, when I give people a ride, I'll take a small coffee cup full of water, not full of water, partial water, and I'll hold it out there, and I say, okay, now watch this. We're going to roll, and the water stays in the cup.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That is really awesome. That is awesome.
I mean, if you're listening on the app or online or on the radio as you're driving out to the Guardians of Freedom Air Show, you can't see this. But if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, I mean, your eyes just kind of light up when you talk about what you're doing. That's awesome. So how many air shows do you do every year?
It varies from year to year. Sometimes I'll do as many as 6. This year it will only be 2, unless I pick up one towards the end of the year. But it'll go from 2 to 6 a year. It just depends on who needs a performer.
How long is your little demonstration that you do? Like today, how long of a
Right.
performance, I guess. We'll call
Yeah. So from takeoff to touchdown yesterday, practice came out to 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're going to be doing all these kind of things. You'll do
Yeah.
barrel rolls. You'll do tumbling. You'll do all those
Right.
kind of things.
So it's a 10-minute routine, and it's fast paced. It just go.
Awesome. So, Doug, I want to make sure we get a plug in for you.
Okay.
So, when Nick is buying my birthday gift next year and he wants to get me a tumbling lesson with Doug, how do people find you?
Well, this is just a hobby for me, and I have to admit that I'm not really in a position to be able to sell rides.
Okay.
But so I really only am able to donate rides just for people that want to ride. It's partially because the airplane that I fly is an experimental airplane. But yeah, it's just a hobby, and for friends and people that I know, like yourself.
Oh my gosh.
I'm happy to give rides.
Doug and I are now going to be very good friends.
Yeah.
And I have an Air Force officer here who's ready to tackle me and tie me up and put me in a barrel so that she can jump ahead of me.
Yeah.
That's great.
Look at her. She's like,
Yeah, there we
yes, I
go.
can't
Yeah.
wait.
So, okay, Doug, another question here real quick. How does your family feel about this? Do they get nervous every time you go up?
My wife, she's fine with it.
Okay.
She's fine with it. Yeah, that question gets asked her a few times, and she says, "Well, I know he really likes to do it, so
Perfect.
I'm
there you
okay."
go.
So,
It looks like you found a good one then.
yeah. Oh, I definitely did. That's a fact.
That's awesome. So now today, it has been I'll just say slightly warm this week.
Mhm.
Now today, what does this wind do? I mean, you have to factor in a lot of things with the wind, I would guess. Does the wind affect how
Right.
you have to kind of prepare your show and all that kind of stuff?
Today, I don't think the wind will be too much of a factor. It looks like it's going to be pretty much straight out of the north and down the runway or along the show line. When the wind becomes a factor is when the wind blows straight across perpendicular to the show line right onto the crowd. Then you really have to pay attention about drift so you don't drift over the show line towards the crowd. But I don't think that's going to be a factor today. We'll see when we get there.
Excellent. So are you kind of at the beginning, the middle, toward the end? What part of the show are you in?
I'm probably about the middle, a little closer towards the end. According to the briefing, I fly at, let's see, it was, gosh, I forget the time. It's written down here. Let me look real quick just to refresh my memory. And on the sheet, yes, there it is, 119.
119. Now, you know that the military is involved when we are down to the precision. You are flying at 119. That's
119.
awesome.
Always
Very good.
in air shows, it's always subject to change. You
Yes.
set a plan and then prepare to change.
Best laid plans, right?
Exactly right.
Again, we're with Doug Roth. He's performing today here in the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. He will be doing tumbling, barrel rolls, straight up, lots of smoke.
Right.
Anything they should look for, like that we haven't talked about that you're going to do in your?
I just say, once the show starts, why, if you look away, you'll probably miss something. So it just runs 10 minutes, and I'll try to make it I will be very entertaining. And like I say, as I mentioned earlier, try to watch for the torque roll where I just go up and come to a stop. I'll make 3 half rolls and then stop. And then when the airplane starts rolling, I'm just a passenger at that point. It's the motor that's rolling the airplane.
Nick is just,
that is just.
Nick
I
does
mean,
not
it
know
is-
what to say
it is
right
so
now.
cool. It is so cool, and I'm so excited to watch. I mean, you guys do your thing. It's going to be so enjoyable to watch. I mean, we really appreciate it, man.
Well, it's great to be here. It's a lot of fun for me. It's a great hobby, and again, an honor to fly for the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. They've got a lot of great displays out here. The crowds, it's amazing how many people are here already. It's just wonderful.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you, Doug. We appreciate you stopping by. Good luck today. We
Okay.
can't wait to watch you approximately 119. You'll see him out there. Check him out. We're at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show at the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be back in just a minute.
You deserve the best. With a Liberty First MasterCard, you can pay down your high-rate debt and could save hundreds when you transfer the balance. The Liberty First Credit Union MasterCard has no balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees, and no annual fee. And with a fixed rate as low as 9.99% APR, and you choose rewards, you'll be able to manage your card your way. Visit libertyfirstcu.com. Rates and terms are based on your credit and subject to change. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
There's a buzz in the air at Kansas as drivers fight to move on to the next round of the playoffs. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Jay Foreman here. Join us on Thursday, August 31st for our pregame show for Nebraska against Minnesota at the Warhorse Casino in Southwest Lincoln. We'll go from 4 p.m. to kickoff at 7 p.m. with the whole ticket crew. Make sure to drop by and see us at the Warhorse Casino.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Old school with DP and J.
They have the run and gun offense coming in. A new head coach that's been given the longest runway of any coach in Wisconsin, new coach in Wisconsin history, to change the program to Cincinnati way, and a new defensive philosophy. They're ripe for the picking.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Back to the LIBA Business Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This segment sponsored by Ascend Aesthetics.
We're back here on the LIBA Business Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainer to Bud Steinhorst will join us once again momentarily. Huge shout out to Doug Roth, a pilot, an acrobatic pilot, for sticking around and coming to hang out with us and just telling us about what all he does. We are in the STEM tent here at the Lincoln Airport, so if you decide to stop by, we've already had a couple of listeners come on by, say hello, and talk to us. We got myself, Bud, Mark out here. Rico's going to be joining us out here in a little bit. We got the Nebraska Esports Show coming up at noon. We don't really have a whole set schedule today, but that's also not a bad thing, Bud, is the LIBA show, got extended to 2 hours for the day. We're going to fill in between whenever we need to, but as you know, you're more than welcome to stay as long as you want.
Well, it's really been fun, you know. When I usually I send you a show rundown, and it's like, okay, at this time we're doing this, and at this time we're doing that. But this one, it was, here's an outline of what we're going to try to do today.
Yep.
Just because we were dealing with so many different folks, it was fun to have Doug.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Come. That was really cool. You know, just to kind of talk about his performance. Not every day you get to interview the ambassador to the United States.
Yep.
From any country, let alone, you know, the Czech Republic, who has a huge relationship with our Nebraska National Guard. Plus, you know that Wilbur's got a great Czech heritage. They just had their Czech days here a couple of weeks ago. So,
you know, I wonder, I should have asked him off air, because this would not be a question for on air. Should have asked him where's he had the best kolache. Because my family's Czech.
I'm guessing he might say my mother.
I bet he would.
If he's wise,
my grandmother makes kolaches sometimes, or whenever we go to family get-togethers. And kolaches are one of my biggest weaknesses. And I missed a golden opportunity to ask a Czech. I don't know. Would that have been disrespectful? Because sometimes you don't want to ask, you know, people about their food, and you don't want to ask people about, you know.
Heck, I asked him if he's getting good food while he's here, and he said he got a good steak.
All right, well, good.
Hey, I'm not too proud.
That's
right?
good. So it would be interesting to see, you know, just stuff like that. But no, there's a lot of people. Once again, they're expecting over 100,000 people here today. Over 200,000, obviously, for the span of the 2 days. This is a 2-day event. We're excited to be a part of it.
Well, and it's really cool. Like, this STEM tent is, I don't know if they could have given us a better location.
Yeah.
We're right in the middle. We see all the buzz that's happening in here. You know, all the young kids that are here, and there's all kinds of things. There's all kinds of giveaways, interactive things they can do. I kind of stepped out on the break, and they're doing the opening ceremonies and all that kind of thing, which the ambassador had talked about. We got Doug in here. That was pretty cool. That was pretty fun. You know, during the break, we were trying to decide. I don't think it was if we should do it. I think Mark basically said that if you ever want to speak on the ticket again, you'll do it. I mean, or at least that's what I heard anyway.
More or less. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know.
You know, we got to do though. We got to set up a GoPro.
Should we just fire up one of these while they're sitting around us? I mean, we got plenty of clear the way. Let's fire one up and let's get going.
I'll let you lead the way on that one. But I think
can't do this one. They got the sunshade in the windows. They're trying to keep it cool and
take it off.
They got the sunshade in the windows.
But I'm thinking for this 93.7 the ticket thing with Doug.
Yeah,
I think we get a GoPro,
man,
and we stick the GoPro like right in front of us passengers, and then we could create a fun marketing video for the ticket, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be kicked off the ticket.
No. You know what?
Like, you're nuts.
I was shocked the other day because the guy was really great. That's going to a Blackhawk, and they got to fly around Lincoln in a Blackhawk.
That would be cool. That would be way cool.
I didn't know anything about that. I'm just going to say it. I didn't know anything about it. I would have liked to be involved. Blackhawks got plenty of seats. So
yeah, but this would
it was the early break crew.
Yeah, so maybe the LIBA Business Hour crew needs to go get with Doug.
It's much Well, and he said it. He told us he would.
He did actually.
He told us, "Woo, a gust of wind came." But no, he told us that. Nice catch, bud. He told us that he would take us up there in the skies, and you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
I think we're gonna have to do it. Maybe Maybe we can do that, like do it during the week, and then
there you go. Talk about it.
I know potentially we're gonna have to record a few shows in advance during football season, just because of the pregame shows and stuff. So a really fun time out here. I want to make sure I shout out to all of our sponsors of the show: Integrated Behavioral Health, UStop, the 1890 Initiative, Aesthetics. They're all great sponsors of our show. We really appreciate them. And then just come out here. It's going to be a fun day. There's plenty to do. And I think some people, if you're thinking, well, it's an air show, I'm just going to come and sit down. No, that's not the case at all. There's so many things out here. There's a lot of static displays. big planes, small planes, military planes, non-military planes, all those kind of things. You can check it out. There's plenty of food vendors out here. I can't believe all the food vendors they got going on out here. And then, different souvenir tents. Obviously, there's plenty of souvenir tents out there. Come by and say hi to the 97 crew that's going to be out here all day long. Mark is here. He's in charge of all morale today, so that's good. And we'll just keep
Wait a
plugging.
minute. Is that so? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Mark, you weren't here, but we decided that since the early break crew got to go on the Black Hawk, we think it's only appropriate that the LIBA Business Hour crew go get rides with Doug, and we're going to put. We want to get a hold of a GoPro,
Yeah,
and put and get some video in there. That'd be
yeah.
totally
The
fun.
the LIBA Business Hour crew is a much smaller crew than the early break crew. I just want to throw that out there. So, we're only asking for 2 seats instead of 4. So,
and we would even bring Mark along.
okay, so fine, 3 seats.
We'll let Mark come along. We'll
Yeah.
put a GoPro
Well, hey,
in.
Mark isn't scared of anything. He skydives, so he's not scared of anything nowadays.
See, so
Skydive will
apparently-
never happen in my
Apparently, the
future.
older gentleman here, Mark and I'm older than Mark. I know that, so I can say that, are a lot more adventurous than the young guy.
Yep.
We got to work on that. a little bit.
Well, I think part of it is I got a long life ahead of me.
Yeah, well, that's true. So do I.
Right?
Yeah. Hey,
You're risking if you're going to skydive.
I don't skydive yet. But anyway, I think we'll take a quick break. Don't you think, Nick? We're getting to
absolutely.
the top of the hour. We'll come back here live from the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. This is the LIBA Business Hour double play today, we'll call it, I guess.
Oh.
And Shannon Nielsen from the Air Force is going to come back.
Perfect.
She's the one that's kind of been helping with interviews and stuff. We'll get her back over here in just a little bit and talk to her kind of about her role in this. And then actually here at the top of the hour, performances are starting. So, get ready. We'll see what we can find, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Veterans, do you know what local, state, and federal benefits and services you're eligible to receive? Do you want help navigating the application or appeals process? Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. You've served our country, now let us serve you. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today. Located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
You've worked hard all year, sweating, building, providing. Labor Day is your day. Schaefer celebrates you this Labor Day. To show our appreciation, Schaefer's has lowered the prices on Maytag and KitchenAid appliances. Save on energy-efficient refrigerators or Maytag laundry pairs, and reward yourself with interest-free financing. Schaefer's, local and family-owned since 1946.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Landmark Implement is hosting their annual Air Seeder Clinic at the Landmark Holdridge Support Center near the airport on Wednesday, August 30th. Get a refresher on your air seeding equipment from Landmark's team so you're ready for seeding this fall. Session topics will include cover crops, Seed Start 2 and 4, calibrations, tractor prep, and more. Dinner will begin at 5:30 with the clinic to follow. All at the Landmark Holdridge Support Center on August 30th. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, enjoy 8-ounce USDA choice boneless New York strip for just $6.99 each. All natural thick cut Iowa pork chops for $1.99 per pound, and fresh, never frozen Atlantic salmon fillets for just $9.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415. or online at ambitionelectric.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Jay Foreman here. Join us on Thursday, August 31st for our pregame show for Nebraska against Minnesota at the Warhorse Casino in Southwest Lincoln. We'll go from 4 p.m. to kickoff at 7 p.m. with the whole Ticket crew. Make sure to drop by and see us at the Warhorse Casino.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
Donnie Nelson kind of was doing a little, backyard boogieing with Mark,
on the side
with Mark Cuban in the back rooms. Moves are being done and things are happening to which you don't really know about. That seems to me what happened in this situation. Things were going on, conversations was being had at the highest levels, and you're not in on the party.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
When you think of places with tons of great beer selections and amazing food menu in Omaha, the conversation should start and end with Bearschen Beer Garden in Benson. With more than 30 beers on tap, including several German options, you're sure to find something you like. And don't forget their Nashville hot chicken sandwich or any of their delicious hamburgers. Start off with the warm house-made pretzels and you're on to a great day at Bearschen Beer Garden in the heart of Benson in Omaha.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union
265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
Summer is winding down, but there's no reason to put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Sign up today for 9-hole leagues this fall, any day from Monday to Friday, starting on September 25th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Call today at 402-742-0140. Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through August 29th are $2 off Certified Piedmontese sausages and brats. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
This is Jake Bachman back in studio at 93.7 The Ticket. Thank you for listening. We're running into a little bit of technical difficulty out at the Lincoln Air Show, but it's very much the thing to do in Lincoln today. As Nick said earlier, about 100,000 people expected to go out there. I think that's the number he said. That's a lot of people. It's been pretty much a Husker game day, and we're going to have another one of those Wednesday when, of course, the volleyball day in Nebraska, when the Nebraska volleyball team goes out to play on Memorial Stadium. So very busy week starting off with the Air Show. Then you have the volleyball day in Nebraska. And of course, Thursday, most of us, I suppose, will stay here, but the football team travels up to Minneapolis to open up the season. And couldn't be more excited. This is the time of year. I mean, like I've said it all week long. This is like Christmas. This is basically Christmas for us here at the Ticket, and certainly for me. big time college football fan. And so we'll take a few minutes here in studio as they reset some things and talk some sports. And pretty much college football getting going is again on the front of my mind. I was thinking about it too, the ever-changing landscape of college football, and I get a lot of blowback from this, and I know some people are very excited about the expanded playoff and conference expansion and big brands battling each other. And I think in a vacuum that would be very cool. I mean, it's kind of like this. If it could just be a one-off, or do all this in maybe for a few years and then go back to the way college football was, I think that would be very cool. So it's not that I'm not excited about it, and I don't really have a choice. I mean, I'm going to have to adjust to it either way. But as week 0 dawns upon us, just realize that this is a bit of a changing of the guard here for college football. This is the last regular season that is going to matter so much, and is that if you lose a game, you likely will not win the championship. Now, of course, that has changed a little bit with, from the BCS days and before that to now, where there are 4 teams in the playoffs. So teams like Alabama, teams like Georgia, if they lose a game, they probably have a chance to make up for it in an SEC championship game, and would probably be able to get back into the college football playoff. The Big Ten, 2 teams last year, maybe could be the same type of situation. If a Michigan or Ohio State fumbles the ball, drops a game mid-season, maybe they can come back and win and get back into the college football playoff with 4 teams. But as soon as we expand to 12 teams, then certainly almost everybody will be afforded a loss. And some people, again, would argue that would make college football more interesting. As you get into November, you're not just watching 1 or 2 teams and thinking, well, if they lose, then that opens up a spot for somebody else. You're kind of looking at the 2 and 3 loss teams and thinking, well, they can, maybe they can still find a way to get into that top 12, get an at-large bid. And so I think maybe there will be more eyes upon that in that way on some other games there, and maybe that's good. But again, to me, it does separate college football and its regular season and the importance of it. It devalues it a little bit, and to me, that's where college football stood apart from most all other sports. There's this kind of this aura about college football, and when you talk about all the all-time great teams, the best teams of all time, you can't put up much of an argument for a one-loss team. And maybe that's not fair. Maybe that's not even true. But again, that's part of just kind of what the college football model set up. Like the '83 Huskers, of course, could have kicked an extra point, got a tie, and people would consider that team really good. Maybe the defense wasn't maybe quite up to snuff to make it one of the greatest teams of all time, but we know about the scoring explosion. And certainly here in Nebraska, you would argue, and I have heard many argue, the '83 team was better than some of the championship teams. But with that loss, with that tie, and of course that specific team, that specific call came down to Tom Osborne not wanting to tie and going for the win and having that championship attitude, which ended up costing them the championship in that they didn't score on that final 2-point conversion. But again, going back to the regular season overall, you're losing that. You're losing that after this season. So as week 0 starts, I know it's not a great slate of games, kind of waiting for Notre Dame to kick things off against Navy in Dublin, Ireland. Of course, Nebraska was in this very same position last year in week 0, and things didn't go as well. So who knows what can happen there. But as we embark on this college football season, maybe it's just the traditionalist in me. Maybe it's just the fact that I've always held the college football regular season for a special place in my heart. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it one last time. The upset, the crazy upset that will happen in week 7 just won't matter as much. And, it'll still be big on campus. Maybe they'll still rush the field. Maybe they'll still have, a huge party wherever it may be that the upset happens. But it won't knock that team out of contention. And it won't be the same. And that's what made college football special to me, too, is the upsets. The Appalachian State beating Michigan. Certainly that would still be a big deal, and that Michigan team would likely not make a 12-team playoff, but it just won't hold the same amount of excitement for me as it used to, because the stakes aren't there. We talk about that with rivalries all the time, and Nebraska and Iowa, and what a great rivalry it has become, but it will never be Nebraska Oklahoma. And you hate to you want to wait to say, well, maybe never, but I mean, it's hard to imagine a situation in which it could. And it's the same reason for Colorado never quite living up to Nebraska Oklahoma. Nebraska Colorado even had a 1 versus 2 matchup there in 1994. They've had some high stakes games, but the Oklahoma thing was, it was a battle for the conference. It was a battle on Thanksgiving Day to go to the Orange Bowl, in many cases to be in line for a national title. You can't, Nebraska, Iowa can't be that, because they don't have the same stakes. Even if you're fighting for the Big Ten West, I mean, and that's about as much as we can ask for now. Now, maybe down the line, maybe, who knows? Matt Rule gets this thing going. Kirk Ferentz continues to coach for the next 40 years. No, I don't necessarily believe that, but maybe at some point they could play for some very high stakes year after year, and you could replicate that. But without those stakes, you just can't get there. And again, to me, the college football regular season is going to be very much the same way. The stakes are going to drop for the ultimate upset. The stakes are going to drop, for this very thin line throughout a season, not only, again, to make the playoff, to be one of those few teams that has earned the right to get the chance to fight for a national championship, but that aura of possibly being an undefeated team, of the only chance of arguing your eternal greatness compared to other national championship teams is to go undefeated. All of that kind of slips to the side after this year, and as we expand the playoffs. Now, the playoffs are going to bring in more money, and money obviously has pushed this sport to a different level and change things all the way around. Imagining what the sport's going to look like in 10 years is very difficult, let alone 5. This is all changing almost daily, certainly monthly, the way that we look at it. The Pac-12 now, again, looking into, I should say the Pac-4, where there's looking for a landing spot. The ACC interested in Stanford and Cal and SMU. It doesn't make any sense. The ACC is the Atlantic Coastal Conference. They're going out to the Pacific Ocean to find the coastal teams there. So again, all of it changing, all of it driven by money, and the playoffs will bring money. And the college football will look more like a miniature NFL. And the NFL does great, and the NFL is fun. But again, to me, what has separated college football, and the college football will be fun, and we'll adjust to it, but what has separated college football from those other sports is the stakes of that regular season. Certainly, we know MLB, NBA, there's too many games. You'll never go undefeated, and there's just, we guys take off games because they got a splinter in their toe or something like that. The stakes just aren't there for the regular season. NFL kind of to a different degree, a little bit different, but there's only 18 weeks. You can afford to lose in week 7, and we'll forget about it by week 9 if you've made up for it as a team. Might bring it back up once the playoff comes around if that matchup comes up again, but you can lose 3 or 4 times, not a big deal. And it's not going to get quite like that in college football, but the 2 or 3 losses that are going to be affordable for teams and still compete for a championship is going to take some getting used to, and to me is going to take a little bit away from what makes college football special. So again, the future of the sport, very exciting, and we'll see what it will become. And I have no doubt it'll make a lot of money, and in its own right will be exciting for different reasons, as playoffs are always enjoyable. But just for those that like college football the way it was, enjoy this one last year as the regular season still holds on to its importance, I believe, for this last go round. Of course, the Huskers, like I said, opening up the regular season against Minnesota. The stakes have not been quite like that for Nebraska. There was a time, for those young enough that might not be able to believe it, but where one loss for Nebraska would ruin your whole weekend, heck, your whole week. And because that would mean you're out of the national championship stakes for that year for the most part. And that's what Nebraska was going for. I mean, one loss used to devastate people. Now we're at the point, obviously, where I hope you don't. I hope your mental health doesn't rely that much on a Nebraska loss, because there are just too many of them. Now Matt Rule takes over. Hopefully you can make your bowl game. You can kind of get back to a point where one loss is somewhat devastating, or at least a few losses would be somewhat devastating. But it's going to take some time to build to that. And so again, as a traditionalist of a college football fan, traditionalist of Nebraska fan as well, I take a different approach to the Nebraska in the slow build that we're going to see from Matt Rule, and not necessarily need to be a slow build, but that's what we've seen at Temple and Baylor. I take a different approach to that. As much as I was talking about the stakes of not losing one game or two games, Nebraska's just not in that position. I urge people to be to have patience with this build, to let it happen, because nothing is going to happen overnight that's going to be worth, be sustainable. And so, I know a lot of people want 8 or 9 wins, and maybe it happens. Miracles happen. I don't know if I'd necessarily put that in a miracle status, but Matt Rule would certainly be Big Ten Coach of the Year, and maybe at some point that's what when I ask for. But I think it's going to take some time, especially the way they're talking about building it. They want to be this physical team, and I think that's the blueprint for the Midwest. I think that's the blueprint at Nebraska, but that doesn't happen overnight. And much more the case also, that doesn't happen when you go against teams that have been practicing that have been having that as part of their culture for several years. And that's what kind of makes this Minnesota game interesting. Minnesota has been a line of scrimmage team. They've adopted that since PJ Fleck has been there. Tracy Claeys to a degree, before him, and the coaches prior to that. Jerry Kill obviously getting more credit for Tracy Claeys as he was part of that staff, but I thought Tracy Claeys did a pretty good job when he took over. But that has been a line of scrimmage team, and this is a line of scrimmage league. Nebraska has not had those studs up front, and that's not to call it the guys that have put in the blood, sweat, and tears and all that over the last 10 years for Nebraska, but they have not been up to par for Big Ten status, and that's what this league's going to be about. But and as Nebraska tries to build themselves to be that team, just a reminder, they're going up a bunch of teams that already built to be that team, and so it might take a little bit of patience in building it the right way and in getting there. But at the same time, maybe not. Maybe Nebraska, as we know with the Scott Frost era, the problem was not that they were getting blown out, that they were just nowhere close to these other teams, particularly in the Big Ten West, particularly in that Midwest footprint that I'm talking about. And so maybe they can make up for that rather quickly, because the idea for Nebraska has always been, in my mind, part of that blueprint is not just the physicality that you'll see programs like Wisconsin and Iowa and Minnesota and Kansas State and Nebraska historically use to be their base to have successful programs. It's not just that. It seems that Nebraska, because of the fan support, because of the money that's involved, because of the care factor from you, the fan, because of who Nebraska is traditionally, because of the 25 years that Tom Osborne put in, because of all of that, Nebraska has a bit more of a ceiling than I think a Wisconsin or an Iowa or a Kansas State, to where they can use that physicality, build, and then build on top of that, recruit better than those other teams, and of course develop, which has been a key missing ingredient for Nebraska for years. So I think long term, the patience in the blueprint, or the blueprint will pay off. The physicality, the culture of physicality will pay off. You just kind of have to have a little bit of patience for it, because it's not going to happen right away. But once again, that's not to say that they won't have a successful season. That's not to say that they won't maybe beat Minnesota on Thursday. And boy, would that be a boost for us here at the Ticket and just everybody that follows Husker football, because that would be a big victory Nebraska has not seen in quite some time. And it would be a wake-up call to the rest of the Big Ten West here in the final year of the Big Ten West. Obviously, after having beating Iowa to finish last season, to having beating Minnesota to open up this season, that Nebraska is back in the race. So we'll see if that happens. Let's take a quick break here. I'll see if we have have connection out there at the air show. If not, we can have spend some more time here in the studio until they are ready to get going. But we are due for a break, so we'll take a break here on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be back with more sports talk in just a moment.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to NovotnyNutritionandWellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience with Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great. We're definitely
coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Great Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. You can apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com. Visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ANSI master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Ironhide Construction has an immediate opening for an administrative assistant in their Lincoln office. The ideal candidate will have experience performing a variety of general office, administrative, and clerical duties. If you have excellent communication, interpersonal, and organizational skills, and are the type of person who enjoys keeping track of all the fine details, then this job is for you. Learn more online at ironhideconstruction.com/careers. Ironhide Construction. Quality buildings and genuine service at a reasonable price.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If you're a loved one who's struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendly staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking.
Old School with DP and J.
They have the run and gun offense coming in. A new head coach that's been given the longest runway of any coach in Wisconsin, new coach in Wisconsin history, to change the program to Cincinnati way, and a new defensive philosophy. They're ripe for the pitch.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Jake Buckelman back in studio here. We have a little bit of technical difficulties out there at the Lincoln Air Show, the Guardians of Freedom Air Show. Once again, that is the big deal here in Lincoln today. A lot of people, somewhere near a stadium full worth of people will be expected to be out there. So if that's not part of your plan, you might want to make it as the weather actually has cleared up a little bit for us today as well. Of course, it's been sweltering hot the last couple of days in this past week. But, a little bit of rain last night makes up for a pretty good day today. I think, mid 80s is where you're looking if you're going to make it out there. So, not a bad idea if you've got the time today. And of course, as I've mentioned in the last segment, it is also week 0 here in college football. The college football season is upon us. Some people do not celebrate week 0. Of course, a lot of Nebraska fans did last year. There's not necessarily a great docket of games. And I don't know if Nebraska Northwestern is necessarily part of a great docket of games last year. And so once again, unless you're a college football diehard, maybe you wait till week 1, this Thursday, Friday, Labor Day weekend to really get into it, which, by the way, I absolutely love. I mean, when we talk about my favorite time of the year, it really is this next Thursday through Monday when you have college football for 5 days in a row, and it's just the open for a new year. Everybody's hopes are up, and you finally get to see a whole off season of thinking about what your team's going to look like. You finally get to see what they indeed look like. So I can't wait for all of this to kind of get into play. And we'll talk a little bit more about Nebraska, Minnesota, as I had some stats that kind of jumped out to me yesterday that. As the media guide gets handed out, we saw the depth chart, some of that stuff I wanted to get to. But just a reminder, some of the games today, Notre Dame and Navy, that one in Dublin on NBC. And I think that kicks off about 1:30. So we will be waiting for the start of college football season. A big storyline in that one, Sam Hartman transferring to the Fighting Irish from Wake Forest, where he is second all-time in touchdown passing yards, I believe, in the ACC, but has moved over to Notre Dame and trying to jumpstart Marcus Freeman in his program in year 2. Navy, by the way, moving on to a different coach. But I would butcher his name if I tried to say it. But Ken, as we all know, Ken. But they're moving on to their different coach. They went with the defensive coordinator who was on staff for their previous coach, and so Ken Niamalatotolo would be my best guess, but that's not it. That's not even how you say it. But it's just a tough name to say. Regardless, we'll see if they have any continuity from hiring on staff there. Obviously, not expected to be necessarily a close game, but I am interested to see if Notre Dame and Sam Hartman make a run at this thing. Sam Hartman is a guy that I think could be in the Heisman race, just because that Golden Dome, that is going to do enough for voters and for interest in and of itself. But the Heisman race, you look at it, it's pretty much Caleb Williams. Caesars came out with their Heisman odds the other day. Caleb Williams was at the top. The next was, kind of Jaden Daniels, and you get in the Drake Mays, but there's not really, it's kind of Caleb Williams by himself, and then who else is going to kind of be in that field. You can have your guests here and there, but none of those guys necessarily locks. Sam Hartman's a guy I could definitely end up seeing being a part of that. Also on the docket today on CBS Sports Network, UTEP at Jacksonville State. You might want to watch that on the CBS Sports Network if you are interested in Logan Smothers. Logan Smothers, I do not believe, won the starting job, but was told he would get playing time today. So that will be interesting for the former Husker. Tonight on the SEC Network, Hawaii at Vanderbilt. Not much to say about that one, but an SEC team getting going. Hawaii, by the way, always plays these week 0 games, so they've kind of got a niche for that. So it's always good one way or the other to see these teams starting to get to the field. And then USC, as I mentioned, Caleb Williams actually starting to defend his Heisman Trophy. See if he can be the second college football player in history to win the Heisman twice. He starts his season tonight on the Pac-12 network. As San Jose State takes on USC. So that's kind of your docket of games. There's also FIU at Louisiana Tech, which is on CBS Sports Network, the late night game here, which is, of course, interesting if you want to preview Louisiana Tech. They've got a game coming up here, coming to Lincoln here in the next month. And so you might want to see what they are going to look like. Maybe they can provide a challenge for Nebraska. Hopefully not, but you never know. And we'll see there. And of course, they've got a former Husker themselves, one that didn't really play too much at Nebraska, but still spent a year here in Dakotas Crawford. So a little bit of interest for some of those week 0 games, but more interest, I think, in that game with Minnesota coming up. But Here's some stats that kind of stood out to me as I was looking over the media handout that they had there for getting ready for this game. And they always do this. They have a great little section where they have a statistical ranking comparison. And a few things that stood out to me about Minnesota. I mean, if you kind of know the program, you know it well. Not surprising. Last year, we're 16th nationally in rushing offense. Not necessarily a complete scoring offense, though. They average 28.2 points per game. That's 65th. But they're going to grind you out. They're not going for points as much as grinding you out, making sure you don't get points. And that's because they can rely on their defense in that time of possession. Their defense was 15th nationally in rushing defense, 15th nationally in passing defense. That added up to 8th in total defense and 4th in scoring defense, only giving up 13.8 points per game. Again, a lot of this, it was pretty known if you've been scouting Minnesota for this game for quite some time. Closer look, though, some of the numbers in parts of this game that will be interesting. How about third downs? Last year, Minnesota on third down offense was third nationally, first in the Big Ten, getting the first down on third down 52.1% of the time. So that third down battle is going to be big, not just for Nebraska's defense going up against that third down offense, but for Nebraska's offense going up against Minnesota's third down defense, who was fifth nationally and also first in the Big Ten, only allowing opponents 27.9% of the time to get first downs. You talk about a way maybe for PJ Fleck and talk about a good culture and some good numbers that you want. Man, are those some amazing numbers. First of the Big Ten, again, in third down offense and third down defense, top 5 nationally. So that will be a key to the game to look forward to. One thing that they did struggle with last year was red zone defense, 114th nationally. So maybe Nebraska's red zone offense can get going. So we'll kind of see there. Nebraska's red zone offense last year, if you're wondering, about 54th nationally, about midway through the Big Ten there. Nothing really to speak of too much. And of course, it's a pretty much a different offense. So, it's hard to really compare there. Nebraska's red zone defense, by the way, does need to get significantly better. As bad as Minnesota's was, 114th nationally. Nebraska's red zone defense last year was 119th nationally. So that's not good. As we look at another thing here that I think is interesting is penalties. Minnesota's not going to beat themselves, or at least they didn't last year. They were first in the Big Ten, first nationally, with just 3.5 penalties per game. So as you walk away, and as maybe you need some tidbits as you talk about this game throughout the week with your friends, or maybe tailgating leading up to it, let them know. I mean, let it be known. Third downs going to be big. They are in every game, but particularly Minnesota, very stout at doing at being top 5 in offense, third down offense and defense last year. And then penalties. They just don't beat themselves. Again, bit of a different team for Minnesota. They had a bit of a staff shakeup. They're moving along on from a lot of those 6-year seniors that they relied on last season. So it's not the same team. It's a new season. Different things are gonna happen there with those numbers. But PJ Fleck, I mean, we talk about Matt Rule's first game and establishing a culture, establishing an identity, establishing who you are as a football team and program. It's already established at Minnesota. It's already established under PJ Fleck, and so some of those numbers you would expect to translate. And again, the big one there is don't expect them to beat themselves, and that was how Big Ten teams beat Nebraska these last several years. Is just wait for them to get in their own way. Nebraska would do it, whether it be a coaching error or some sort of execution problem on the field. That was the blueprint for beating Scott Frost in Nebraska, and it happened time and time again. They'd find a way to lose. Minnesota, in some people would say this is not necessarily the way to win, is basically just avoid losing. And that's a weird way of saying it, but more or less, some of these teams that that's kind of the way to do it. Is maybe if you don't have the talent that Ohio State or a USC or a Texas or a Florida can easily attain, you can work on the basics. You can work at very much staying in the game as much as you can and not beating yourself. And that's what Minnesota has done And that's maybe partially the reason why they had 9 or more wins in 3 out of the last 4 seasons, and why PJ Fleck has it rolling there, and why it would be a big deal, bigger deal than some people are maybe giving it credit for, if Nebraska does knock off the Gophers there in Minneapolis. I can't wait for it. I'm going to head up there Thursday morning. It's a gold out. The stadium is sold out for the gold out. And so if you are a Husker fan, go and make sure to wear your red. Don't happen to just wear gold that day. You'll stand out as a Minnesota fan. Red or white should do. Scarlet cream, get your corn heads out. Or whatever you like to wear, paint yourself up all red, whatever the case may be, but just wear some Husker gear and cheer on the Huskers. I think that the spread right now is, at least last time I checked, and it may have moved by now, is around 7.5. I think that's about right for this game. Not necessarily expecting Nebraska to win, but not expecting them to be blown out of this game, and therefore they'll be in it. And maybe they can be the team that just doesn't beat themselves and outlast Minnesota kind of at their traditionally owned game. We will see. Now there's the expectation. I do want to prepare for people again. There's a possibility. As I said, PJ Fleck has this thing kind of, I won't say on cruise control, because without Mohamed Ibrahim, they're going to have to find, Sean Tyler's going to have to step in and be their new running back. Ethan Kaliak-Manis is going to, take over for Tanner Morgan, though he's done so before. They lose some big pieces. So it is a little bit of an adjustment for him. But again, there is a possibility, and we've seen this before in coaches' first games, that the things don't go too well. And again, that's where I would ask patience. Minnesota, to a degree, is what Nebraska wants to build itself into, but you can't just flip the switch and be that team. And if you're going to try to beat them at their own game doing that very same thing, just realize they've got years ahead of you. They've been more practices in doing that than you. So I think there is a slight possibility. I'm not predicting it. I just, again, don't want to sound the alarms if Minnesota does get a sizable victory against Nebraska, that it is just the first week. And I think this year is a lot more, in my mind, people are going to ask you, well, what's the record? What's the win total? What do they have to do for a successful season? To me, a successful season isn't a win total. Certainly if you get to 7, 8, 9 games, whatever, yeah, that's a successful season. But to me, more important than whatever the final tally is going to be in your wins is that you improve, is that you get better, is that you build this culture, is that you build this foundation of what you can have a championship level team here in 3 to 4 years, which is what Nebraska expects. But you got to build it the correct way. And so I want to see improvement. I want to be going into next season thinking, okay, kind of like what Scott Frost wanted to, is year 2, they're going to be trouble. And there's going to be realistic. And then you can turn on, okay, what is the win total? What is the expectation? And have a legitimate discussion about it. Because right now, most of Nebraska fans just want to get to 6 wins, and that's kind of sad. That's where the state of the program is, but they haven't been to a bowl game since 2016, so I don't think there's really any arguing that wouldn't be a successful season. And at one time it'd be silly to say that, obviously. At the Big Red Brunch, having Tom Osborne speak there and to kind of have those thoughts it's just crazy to think, for a man that left the program the way that he did, not only as a head coach but also as an athletic director. But we can't stew in our own problems. We gotta pull up the bootstraps and get ourselves out of them. And that's what Nebraska is going to do, hopefully under Matt Rule, and it all begins Thursday. So we're very much looking forward to that. Once again, we are in studio here. This is Jake Balkovin. We are going to take another break, hopefully send it back out to Nick and Rico, as hopefully we've got the technical errors figured out there at the Lincoln Air Show, Guardians of Freedom Air Show. Because Big Red Esports set to go here from 12 to 2 live out there. Very excited to kind of see what they have. There's been some games. I don't know if they'll touch on Madden. I know a lot of talk I've heard from friends about Madden, and maybe that franchise is rebooting itself a little bit to be what it was in the old days, because I haven't heard great things the last couple of years. Less of a video game player than I was in the past, and part of that again is college football video game, not out there. In my true love is college football, but hopefully Madden is back and better than ever, because I do hope to pick up the sticks and play a little bit about that. So maybe they'll talk about that. I'm sure there's plenty of other headlines in the esports realm. It always makes for an entertaining show. Always enjoy listening to those guys. So we'll take a quick break. Hopefully hear from them at the top of the hour. We'll see if we send it back out or head back here in studio for one final segment with me. Either way, we'll be happy to do it, and we'll be happy to have you listening. We'll do that next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Landmark Implement is hosting their annual Air Seeder Clinic at the Landmark Holdridge Support Center near the airport on Wednesday, August 30th. Get a refresher on your air seeding equipment from Landmark's team so you're ready for seeding this fall. Session topics will include cover crops, Seed Start 2 and 4, calibrations, tractor prep, and more. Dinner will begin at 5:30 with the clinic to follow. All at the Landmark Holdridge Support Center on August 30th. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, and they've scouted out the best Kawasaki side-by-side deals for you. Score up to $2,500 off the 2023 Kawasaki Terex and up to $1,000 off Mule Pro FX and FXCs. Whether you want to handle the toughest task in a trusted, tried and true mule or looking to dominate adventure in a Terex, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of Kawasaki side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down. Offer valid through 9/30/2023. Subject to change without notice. Offer available on approved purchases of select new unregistered Kawasaki vehicles. Model and year exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with promotional retail financing rates. Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary.
Ironhide Construction has an immediate opening for an administrative assistant in their Lincoln office. The ideal candidate will have experience performing a variety of general office, administrative, and clerical duties. If you have excellent communication, interpersonal, and organizational skills, and are the type of person who enjoys keeping track of all the fine details, then this job is for you. Learn more online at ironhideconstruction.com/careers. Ironhide Construction, quality buildings and genuine service at a reasonable price.
Xandar.
Yes, Marlex.
If you want to assimilate into Nebraska culture, you must learn the reactions of joy from playing and winning Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery.
Specify.
Nebraska life forms use words like yippee, wow, woohoo, and booyah.
Logical. Nebraska Pick 5 grows by $10,000 each time it is not won.
This produces hyperactive reactions in humans.
I will try. Yip-ee.
Needs more work.
Nebraska Pick 5 top prize odds 1 in 658,000.
Our lives only have so much time. But if you smoke, you have less. Your life could be 10 years shorter. And the time you do have is often filled with health problems. Shortness of breath, asthma, COPD, and cancer. But the minute you quit, your body starts healing.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Summer is near. Now's the time to clean or replace your furnace filter to get the most out of your AC. Find energy-saving tips at les.com/save-energy.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Nebraska State Veterans Homes are here to serve veterans, their spouses, surviving spouses, and Gold Star parents. Join your fellow veterans and their families at one of our homes in Bellevue, Kearney, Norfolk, or Scottsbluff. With a sliding scale to determine your financial contribution, an excellent clinical team, and plenty of fun activities, our homes are the perfect retirement choice. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/homes. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
On the block with Strick and Austin.
Donnie Nelson kind of was doing a little, backyard boogieing with
Business
Mark,
on the side.
with Mark Cuban in the back rooms. Moves are being done and things are happening to which you don't really know about. That seems to me what happened in this situation. Things were going on, conversations was being had at the highest levels, and you're not in on the party.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Buckelman back in studio with you on 93.7 The Ticket. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Saturday afternoon. And if you have some free time, make it on down to the Lincoln AirShow, Guardians of Freedom AirShow, as we are broadcasting live out there, working on a little bit of technical difficulties, but planning to have Big Red Esports going here at noon. If we don't get it going, we'll send it out to national radio here for a few minutes till we can get it going. But I am here with you for a few minutes, and to see if we can get it here from live from the guys out there. So we'll plan on doing that. Either way, we'll get it fixed. We'll get it fixed one way or the other, and we'll be broadcasting live out there, throughout the day and into tomorrow as well. But again, encourage you to go out there, as it's the beginning of a wonderful, wonderful time. It is college football season, and obviously this week in Lincoln specifically with the Air Show, and then volleyball day in Nebraska, and then Thursday obviously you kick off Husker football. Just a great time of the year, and the weather again has cooperated with us a little bit, so I like that as well. I just wanted to get to a few college football storylines as we do embark on the new season. Some things that I thought were a little bit interesting that I didn't quite get to on my shows yesterday. Utah reportedly is exploring making a 2024 game against Baylor a non-conference contest. Now, obviously, right now it sounds like, yeah, well, they're not in the same conference. But remember, Utah going to the Big 12 in 2024. Now, this is caused a little bit of problem because a few of these teams do have non-conference matchups with those teams that they're going into the conference with. This did happen before. North Carolina and Wake Forest a few years ago, if you remember, had a non-conference conference game. They scheduled it on their own because the ACC scheduling office just never put those teams together, and they got so fed up with it. They're right down the road from each other. There's a natural rivalry, and they just never were matched up. And they said, you know what? We're just going to play each other. And so that's a little bit different circumstances there, but there is a chance you'll see conference opponents battling once again in college football in non-conference games, which is very confusing and somewhat. I mean, the only reason that I think that it could be a hot topic, I suppose, is if you go down to like conference winning percentage that year for who's going to make the Big 12 championship, and Utah has the same conference winning percentage, but they also beat Baylor in the non-con, then that should raise it up, but they don't get to go to the Big 12 championship game. You can see a little bit of a mess coming out of that, but we'll kind of see how that plays out. Now, Kansas State might do the same thing. They have a non-con scheduled against Arizona going into 2024. And once again, Arizona State, Utah, and Colorado all joining the conference in the Big 12 conference in 2024. So you could see a few non-conference conference games with teams that you're not used to being in the same conference next year in 2024. So that could be very confusing and just kind of something funny to play around with college football. Another thing, Michael Penix Jr., a pretty well-known name, one of the top names as far as Heisman consideration. Of course, now the Washington quarterback, he's going into his 6th season. I just saw this the other day, and some of the numbers surprised me there. He first played in 2018. Of course, that's the first year Scott Frost coached at Nebraska. So that's how long Michael Penix Jr. has been around in college football. In fact, he is 1 day older than Trey Lance, who, of course, was just given up, who has been drafted by the 49ers in the top 4 and given up and moved on to the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. He's the same age as Michael Penix Jr. Michael Penix Jr. even the same age as Trevor Lawrence at 23 years old. So just kind of funny where college football has gone these days, and something to look forward to if he does win. It kind of goes back to, well, that's impressive, but if you're Brandon Weeden or Chris Winkie out there and you're an adult playing against college kids, then maybe it's not fair. It's not quite that level, because those guys were a little bit older, but 23-year-old Michael Penix Jr. has been doing it for quite some time. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Actually, just send it right back out to national radio right now, and then we'll catch up with the guys at the Guardians of Freedom Air Show and bring them to you as soon as we can here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Need a place to talk sports? You've come to the right place. CBS Sports Radio.
Fantastic to be here with you guys. My name is Mark Ryan, and you're listening to CBS Sports